And just like that, we're back. So you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, but we had a little we might have a slight change of plan. Can you bring my glasses?
No.
Bring my glass. I'm on a live stream.
You haven't
Trina,
even said hi to me.
because you haven't said hi to me. What are we doing? You have cooties.
Yay. I love you so big.
I love you too. Can you go get my glasses,
What?
please? Sitting by the sink. All right. I hope I don't let you down, Free Karen. Free Karen Reed. I apologize. I think we might have a scheduling problem, but we'll see. Shortly. We'll see shortly. Take my glass off before you go crazy. I'll be in a second, sweet girl. All right, now I can see better. All right. Hey, y'all, how are you doing? What's happening? All right, so we might have a slight change of plans, but we'll make sure it's good nonetheless. Move this out of the way. I apologize. It looks like we might. Looks like we might have to change that up. But the plan was to have Kurt from Uncivil Law come through, and we were just going to talk about plea deals and such like that, and get a better understanding of what are these, why do people do them? Okay, what is the whole, what's going on with plea deals, and why do they happen? Are there situations and issues that one should not do it? Are the ones that are very beneficial, the ones that are not so much? And of course, what happens if you get you're on probation and you get yourself in trouble, those kind of things like that. How easy is it to get in trouble? I had some really good questions. So we'll forego that if he doesn't show up. We'll just forego it and save it for another time. So I apologize about that. Sometimes planning things out like that, and I think I might have just had a scheduling problem. So appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't upset too many of y'all like that. Hopefully I'll be like, hey, Jason, we can roll with you. We can roll with you. I appreciate those ones that did. Now, in lieu of that, I was going to do a live reaction to some of these meltdown videos. Okay, y'all, can we have a conversation? I really want to have a conversation about this. You are, in the chat real quick, in the chat very quickly, can you please just tell me where you're from? Where are you from? It could be where you were born or where you're living at the current moment. Where are you from? Okay. And y'all know that I'm in Atlanta. You can put your flag, you can put type it out, whatever like that. I want to understand this phenomenon. Okay. Wow, that water is really good. Man, that's good. Okay. So let me walk with me through the theater of your mind. Okay. So you've you had a rough day at work today. You're out chasing that money. Remember, Adrian Love told us that if you're chasing at the money, that means you're doing something illegal, right? So you've been out there chasing that money all week long, and you're supposed to get paid today. And let's say you didn't get paid, and for whatever reason, matter of fact, let's just say terrible things happened. It was a horrible thing, right? And your work week ended horribly, terrible, very, very bad. Okay. And so you get in your car and you're crying, you're really sulking, and I mean you're just letting it out. And you're like, man, this is horrible. This is very bad. It's terrible. And you reach over and you decide to grab your phone. And not only do you grab your phone, but you hit the video recording app. And not only do you hit the video recording app, but you set your phone up to record you crying about what happened at work today. And then you turn around and you take the finished product. Let's say you cry, you snot, and you spit, and you yell, and you scream, and use profanity, and you take this 5-minute clip and you upload it to social media. I really need somebody to tell me that's not a mental issue. I really need somebody to tell me, in the midst of something going on in your life that's really bad, you decide to record yourself going through this and share it to social media. That has to be a mental issue. It has to be. It has to be. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be upset about something. I'm not saying that you can't be passionately upset about something. It is the process of introducing your phone to the equation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That cannot be normal. That just cannot be normal. I was watching some of these people melting down because of Trump. And it's insane. It's insane. From wrecking their cars to tearing up their furniture to cutting their hair. I really need somebody to explain that to me. Now, granted, I don't know much about having hair, but still, why are they cutting their hair? Uh, For the life of me, for the life of me, I know it's Trump derangement syndrome, but unless that's a medical issue, Trump derangement syndrome is something else, right? We used to say the kids were bad, but now it's called ADHD. Okay, and there's ways that they deal with quote unquote bad children, and they're not really that bad anymore. Okay, we got that. But what in the world is this? So tonight, I just want to go through a couple of these, and I just thought it would be fun. We're gonna have a good old time looking at some of these, and I want to understand. I'm not. What is the? I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, now because I voted for Trump, maybe I don't have the problem. I don't worship Trump. I don't think he's a savior. I don't think he's going to do all these great things that people are saying. I don't think he's going to do all these bad things. I feel much more comfortable he's not going to do all the bad things that people are saying. I don't think he's going to do all of the great things that people are saying either. That's not mine. I don't think I'm not going to put that burden on him, nor am I going to put that cross on him another way. What I am going to say is these people's responses are just not, they're not rooted in reality. So if you're familiar with Sky News, shout out to Sky News. It's a news outlet from Australia. I don't know how I found them, but my goodness, in the morning, they are a blessing. This is what American news wants to be when it finally grows up. This Sky News is exactly what US news wants to be. When you become an adult, this is what you want to be, US news. But before we get too far afield, thank you so much, Felicia, for stopping by. Hey, Cindy, I see you over there. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? Law and above, that's perfectly fine. And I also want to point out something else. Notice that people on the right, I've yet to see them castigate people on the left and say that they can't be their friends anymore. So you're welcome to come on. I just noticed that. What's up, Ms. B? Good to see you. Grace and peace. All the way up there in North Carolina and in Ohio. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's jump into this. I just thought this was interesting. I want to hear what y'all think about it. So let's get to it. Let's go. All right. Shout out to Sky News. Let's go.
Entirely to lefties losing it.
And real quick, as always, drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear. Make sure we got that audio working fine,
welcome
Jason?
to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it. And let's start with the recreation of an iconic moment in Lefties Losing It. First, the original clip that in so many ways captures the quintessential essence of Lefties Losing It, the crazy hyperbole, the wild emoting, the derangement and desperation to be a victim, all captured in this classic moment when Donald Trump was sworn in as president.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States.
Okay, I do want to say this. This is actually different than what I'm referring to. This woman was not, this is recorded by, if I'm not mistaken, it was by a news outlet. So this one's slightly different because she's not putting the camera up, screaming, and trying to be seen. So I'm going to give her a little bit of grace there, but there's not going to be much more after that.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere.
It never gets old, and now that famous moment is not only a popular timeless meme, It's also inspiring copycats, including this woman's superb work at a recent Donald Trump rally. She didn't need to explain anything here. Everyone got the joke immediately. Of course, there are other copycats, and it can be hard to tell what's real and what's parody. For example, is this next video a comedy skit, or is it Rosie O'Donnell being afflicted with a terminal case of Trump derangement syndrome?
Okay, so how's everybody's nerves about this election? You know, let's say on a scale of 10 being can't think of anything else and may need some additional medication, I'm like at a 7. And I just think with all those people showing up for Kamala, I don't think it's as close as they're saying it is. I really don't. And I think that the dumpster, the hate rally manager, that guy, the orange dumpster fire, him.
Gosh, poor Rosie is so filled with hate, she can't even say President Donald Trump's name. That seems unhealthy.
Where's the joy?
But at least she didn't start crying like J-Lo.
I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional, but you know what? You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter.
Is she talking to P. Diddy's victims there? What was that all about? Yes, interesting performance from J-Lo, Jenny from the Block, Jennifer Lopez, the woman known for her terrible pics from P. Diddy to Ben Affleck twice. Now she's lecturing Americans on who to vote for. No thanks, love. But I do have some good news for you. Perhaps there is a cure for Trump derangement syndrome. Be sure to tell the lefty in your life about Trumpanol.
Rough day? Do you find yourself acting irrationally? Do you get mistaken as a hyena when you laugh? Or do word salads occur frequently? Now there's help. Introducing Trumpanol. Trumpanol is designed specifically for those suffering with Trump derangement syndrome. Don't allow TDS to control your life anymore. Trumpanol is fast-acting, delivering relief from the stress of campaign season. Side effects may include registering as a Republican or voting for Donald Trump. Consult with your doctor before taking Trumpanol.
Now to a man who needs a double dose of Trumpanol. Here's a man who proves that even a simpleton clown can be a billionaire. Here is Mark Cuban being a misogynist dolt.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple.
Do you really want to be saying that to Tulsi Gabbard or, I don't know, Melania or Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's now governor of Arkansas after being Donald Trump's White House press secretary? And she had this to say about the feral left's attacks against her.
President who empowered his team. And when the left was relentlessly attacking me, kicking my family out of a restaurant, parents spitting on our car at our children's school, MSNBC reporters called me not even human, vile, unfit to be a mother. It was President Trump who pulled me aside, looked me in the eye, and said, Sarah, you're smart, you're tough, you're beautiful, and they attack you because you're good at your job. Now get back to work.
You know what Americans need is not just desperately out of touch celebrities preaching to them, they also need painfully unfunny POMs ranting about the election. Remember when late night TV shows were funny? Now they have the likes of John Oliver emoting wildly about Trump.
I know this hasn't been a very uplifting speech. If it helps at all, there's one final thing I'm going to be genuinely excited for on Tuesday, and that is, if Donald Trump loses this election, he's basically finished. I know he would put us through hell. He would put us through hell before he left the stage, but when the dust settled, he'd have lost 2 elections in a row, and we would be campaigning as an 82-year-old next time. I think he'd be done. And doesn't that sound great?
Trump put him through hell. Oh, gosh, what a bitter loser. Talking about lefty losers, here is Mickey Rourke again proving that Mr. Mackey was right. Drugs are bad. Okay?
That, but I'm not going to go into it because I don't need another visit from the Secret Service.
When did you have one before?
Oh, about 6 months ago.
Why?
Take a wild guess.
Was it because of something you said about President Trump?
Yeah.
What did you say about him?
Just the truth.
Which is what?
Read my mind.
Read my mind.
That it did have me curious, so I went looking for why the Secret Service may consider that lunatic a threat. It's not because he told the truth about Trump as he claimed there, it's because he threatened to punch the president. This is Rourke during Trump's first term. Again, let this be a lesson to the kids out there. Stay away from drugs and bargain basement plastic surgeons.
That piece of in the White House, that lying sucker. That no good, two-faced piece of, you know, he said some really nasty things about the two of us. And you know what? It's personal.
It's personal now?
And there's going to be a day when he ain't president. And we're going to bump into each other. And you're going to feel me.
You're going to give him a left hook?
What do you think?
Did you mind?
Read my mind.
Oh dear, yeah, that
Read
dude
my
has been
mind.
losing it for many years, as has this next white dude for Kamala, MSNBC hysteric Joe Scarborough, who is just abusing Trump supporters in this next clip, just spewing abuse. He talks about the millions of folks who have attended Trump rallies over the years like they're garbage.
Who raised these people?
Yeah.
Because they were not raised by anybody in my neighborhoods that I grew up, any middle-class neighborhoods that I grew up in. These people were not there. They were not raised. I mean, they weren't in the classes I went to growing up in elementary or middle or high school or college. They just weren't there. That wasn't the America I grew up in. Again, who are these people not raised? I mean, they weren't in the classes I went to growing up in elementary or middle or high school.
Look at these faces right here. Look at these men and women's faces. Please look at them as this man talks about where were these people raised. I mean, good gravy. Come on.
College, they just weren't there. That wasn't the America I grew up in. Again, who are these people? Where are they coming from, and who raised them, and how did Donald Trump twist their point of view so much in 9 years?
These lefties, they're a hateful bunch, aren't they? And
Where's
this
the
next
joy?
lefty is no exception. What a piece of work this mad banshee is, attacking a man's truck because it has a Trump flag on it. She feels entitled to vandalise his property right in front of him.
This is my truck. Get away from my truck. Get away from my truck, you crazy lady. Please. What are you doing right now? Lady, please get away from my vehicle. I have to go to work. I'm going to go get the cops involved. Get away from my vehicle now. You cut me off.
What gives you the right to
free? This is America, and this is a free country. Get away from my vehicle, or I'm going to press charges on you. Get away from my vehicle right now and get on the road.
She actually asks, what gives you the right? That's the modern left for you, crazy, angry and intolerant. Here is another charming lefty showing us again that the Democrats and the left in general are all about love, tolerance and inclusion, unless you don't share their deranged worldview, in which case they behave like literal fascists while calling you a fascist.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, you doing good?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You live in this neighborhood?
Doesn't matter.
You shouldn't be in this neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have jaundice or something?
I shouldn't be in this neighborhood?
Guess what, Nazi? Go home.
All right.
Nazi?
You Nazi piece.
All right.
Go home.
Stop shaking your hands.
Go home.
Step
Yeah,
away.
because I want to.
Step
you
back.
don't understand.
Step back.
After that nastiness, I think we could all do with a Trump-inspired music break.
Back me up, go all in, by Joe Biden. I gotta win, save the country from sin. I won't never slack up, Kamala's a clown. So get out and vote, keep jump around. Jump around. Keep jump around. Jump around. Jumps up, Kamala's going down. I'm the cream of the crop. I rise when I'm shot. Some started from the bottom, but I've always been on top. Painting me as a dictator, some type of super trader. I think you need some loving cause you sounded like a hater. But I ain't going down like no punk foo. Clean up the house, Joe, moving in back suit.
That was good fun, and this next clip is
That's
also
wild.
great. Listen to this DJ's work and watch out for the angry Karen on the dance floor who is determined to be a misery guts as everyone else around her dances to this banger.
I'm gonna come.
That's wild.
And can you believe the Democrat squad of A-list celebrities wasn't enough to get Kamala over the line? How did the American public resist the call from these learned souls who are so in touch with the average American and whose moral compass is pure and true and who are never prone to crazy delusions?
It can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us could imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him. Take him at his word.
Even Bill Maher's lefty audience couldn't help but laugh at Robert De Niro there. And I guess Bill Maher's going to lose his show now, isn't he? That's what they were talking about. And in recent days, we even had the ladies of The View not just backing Kamala, but they were picking her Attorney General for her. And of course, they pick the irredeemably awful rhino warhawk, Liz Cheney.
Are you also a lawyer?
Yeah, I am.
So you could conceivably be a great AG if this was. And I say this because your moral core is magnificent.
Oh, isn't that adorable? Whoopi Goldberg lecturing us about morals. I've heard it all now, but Kamala had the unique ability to make even once cool celebrities lose all credibility. She made the boss, Bruce Springsteen, sound like this.
Well, I'm just about starving tonight. I'm dying for some action.
She turned Cardi B into the world's lamest, saddest joke.
1 second, guys, 1 second. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here.
Yikes. I can't believe that didn't convince the masses. And Kamala somehow even managed to turn the once hilariously funny Will Ferrell into this cringy mess.
I'm just one person? No. Shut the up, Gary. Last time, only a few thousand votes kept Trump out of office. And this time, we will hold you personally responsible, Gary. Don't forget to vote, Gary.
And when the celebrity endorsements weren't working, she had her media propagandists use these shameful tactics.
We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy.
Wow. Just crazy stuff. That was MSNBC anchor Joy Reid and her colleague and fellow Russian conspiracy hoax peddler Rachel Maddow was even issuing threats to Elon Musk's business empire.
The Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms, now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
That sounds a little fascisty to me. Today, Joy Reid was still delusional and claiming that Kamala had run the perfect campaign.
And so what you've seen in the last couple of weeks, if this is an audition for managing a complex organization like the United States, Kamala Harris has passed the audition flawlessly. This has been, in many ways, a perfect campaign, a brief, and she had barely any time to put it together.
But eventually, reality sank in and Joy Reid was back to doing what she does best, race baiting and making wild claims, this time about Israel wanting to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
Nobody wants Donald Trump to be president more than Bibi Netanyahu, who is backed by a far-right coalition that would like to clear-cut Gaza, that would truly like to complete a complete ethnic cleansing of Gaza.
Meanwhile, Rachel Maddow was lashing out at the American public, chiding them for not realising just how good the economy is.
The United States economy is the envy of the world. Yeah. The inflation numbers, the economic growth numbers, the fiscal numbers, the U.S. standing in the world numbers are all off the charts positive. Even the freaking stock market, right? All off the charts positive.
There you have it. You're just imagining all that economic hardship. The share market is up. It's all good. Rachel said so. Now let's hear from a Kamala fan who saw a man in a MAGA hat and launched into this diatribe. Should be feeling it today.
He's going to lose.
Vote Trump.
He's going to lose.
Good.
He's empowering you racist, all right? But you ain't a black going to be in the office, and his white is going to be out. We're taking the trash out, loser. All right, we're in power now.
Have a nice day.
You have a wonderful day on the 5th, okay? You're going to lose.
Okay.
And your leader, your cult leader.
Bye-bye.
You dumb.
And this next Kamala fan also learned an important lesson today. Don't get overconfident when you sit in a leftist echo chamber, because when reality hits, it's going to hurt.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. I mean, not to be, cocky, but I'm optimistic.
Let's have some fun looking at reactions to Donald Trump's extraordinary win. The red wave has cometh, and the lefties are, well, they're giving me too much content.
I'm sorry. No.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. The fact that, okay, she's crying, she's screaming in her car. I'm giving you grace for that. The fact that she deliberately turned her camera on to record this and to share it, that has to be a problem. There has to be a psychosis. There has to be a neurosis or something with that. Like, that doesn't make sense. It can't be normal behavior. That just can't be. Okay. I'm asking this because I'm doing a montage, an epic montage of all these meltdowns, because they're just so crazy. A magnanimous meltdown montage. That's what we're going to call it. The 3M. But this can't be normal behavior. I've never felt like, hey, I'm having a really bad day. The world is going left and I'm going right. The world is bad. Let me turn my camera on and record myself. I'm sorry. I just cannot figure that out. Okay, let's go.
Look, it's fair to say she's not handling it well.
She's not.
As for this next lass, I'm not sure where she is today.
I swear to God, if you idiots elect that demented man, I will burn this whole place to the ground.
Oh
now,
my.
this woman is too old to be this stupid, but sadly, leftism and TDS can leave the sufferer delirious, delusional, and dangerously stupid.
You voted for a racist, a rapist, a dictator. You voted for a bully, a bigot, and a narcissist. Even the Germans tried to warn us, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen to the historians, the psychologists, the educators, and the intellectuals. Of course not, because Dictatorship 101 is to convince you to distrust the media, the educated, and to create an us versus them mentality.
It's always the dimmest folk who go on about educated experts. If you're wondering why these lefties are so triggered, so shocked by reality, so out of touch with their fellow Americans, well, it could be because they consume the type of media I'm about to show you now. Here are some of our favourite media leftists who were convinced that Donald Trump was toast, that Kamala was going to win, and win easily.
In my humble view, lights out. Please welcome back the next president of the United States.
I think it's going to be a blowout, actually. I don't think it's going to be a close race. I think there are going to be those Republicans that just vote for Harris.
It'll be tied on Election Day, as always it will. The polls will be tied, and then he'll lose.
You call us trash? Oh, J.D. Vance, you just effed up in a way that I've never seen in my political life, and I worked for Sarah Palin.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools in these crypto markets do something. Let them drive the betting line into a favorable place and then take advantage of it. That's what I would do. I think she's going to win.
You wrote Trump is toast. Do you stand behind that today?
Oh, even more so. I feel the same way that I felt a few weeks ago that Trump is toast.
And they're not taking the loss well. Here is Sunny Hostin of The View lashing out at white women without college degrees.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding.
Okay, I want to stop this because, and I've talked about the uneducated argumentation before. So let me just make sure I have it correct. And as a matter of fact, we talked about it last night when I did the panel discussion with the men. We talked about, I think we came up with like 8 college degrees between the 3 of us. But, and all of them are very well educated. They know what they're talking about. They are well versed in the topics and the such like that. You don't need to be an economist in order to be a member of the election process. So when people say that they're uneducated, I always wonder, like, what are you talking about? Well, what education do you need in order to say I vote for this person or I don't vote for that person? Like, what education do you need? What is the floor? What is the ceiling of education that you need to have? And I only wonder, would she have this issue if those same uneducated women had voted for Kamala? Would she have had an issue with them being uneducated? I don't think so. So, Sunny Hostin, I know she's a joy. What is this, The View she's on? And she really just trashes it. But I don't think that you don't need to be, again, a PhD in order to be a part of in my opinion, that's the beautiful thing about our system. Our representative government is that you don't have to be a king or a viceroy. You can be a plowboy or a milk lass and understand our system and be a part of it, though. You can actually be a part of the civic process of doing some degree of selecting your leaders. That's amazing. You don't get to do that in many others. And it's all the chips are laid out, made available to you. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go.
You have Latino men actually voting more for him.
Those awful women and Latino men, how dare they think for themselves? By the way, the exit polls showed that the majority of married men, unmarried men, and married women voted for Trump. It was the unmarried women who backed Kamala. What was it that J.D. Vance said about that group? And Sunny also made some absurd claims about losing her civil rights. The desperation to be a victim is strong in this one.
I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed.
And the perpetually aggrieved ladies of The View also want greater censorship. They want to curb free speech on social media.
Okay, I gotta stop for a second. I try to keep these fun, and I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad I'm doing this because I hadn't watched this one. So shout out to Miss Mandy. She sent this to me, and I was gonna do like a blind reaction to it, but it's actually causing me to be upset. It really is. This woman is saying that again. I live in the United States. I'm a member of the highly melanated community. The Lord has blessed me with a lot of melanin. Absolutely. And the idea, the notion that now I have less rights, or my daughters who are in the kitchen have less rights than they did on Wednesday. I'm sorry, today, Friday, than they did last Friday is laughable. I don't understand what's wrong with these people. And again, maybe we need to dig, maybe I need to have a mental health expert come on the show and help explain this, because I don't get it. I don't get what's missing. Like, besides maybe a level of oxygen, maybe the oxygen levels are not high enough. What's missing to cause you to believe that you have less rights now than you did before? Let's go. Let's finish this up. Okay, let's go.
So a Democrat never loses again.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
It's not going to get any better with Elon Musk now in the administration.
They had to.
Okay, now y'all know how I feel about that. I'm at the big screen, that one. This election, if it didn't prove I'm doing a list of 10 things that you've learned from this election. One thing I'll just tell you right now, mainstream media is kaput. It is done. Stick a fork in it. Go ahead and get the dressing. Go ahead and get the gravy. It's finished. Mainstream media has no voice at all like they used to. And I'll even add another bonus one. Hollywood is done. Hollywood and the celebrity influence is finished. Add to that music artists as well as athletes. Their influence means nothing anymore. Now, they can go ahead and shoot a ball, they can sing a song, they can play in a movie, but their influence as it relates to political ideology is nowhere. It's done. It's over. It's donezo, as the kids like to say. And I think this is part of what we're seeing, in that we watched Hollywood come out with all guns ablazing. We watched every athlete. We watched almost every entertainer step up to the plate to try to push, music entertainer, to try to push this woman across the finish line. And it did not net them a W. It's over. Their influence is finished. Mainstream media, your influence on the zeitgeist of humanity is over. That's just it. Okay, let's go.
MSNBC's Joy Reid, who's always having a normal
Always
one.
Joy.
Here she claims that Florida is a fascist state.
It's a pure Project 2025 in miniature in Florida, and that kind of extreme, sort of extremist, right-wing, fascist-type government in Florida, does that make it a more attractive place?
Oh dear, and if you're in the habit of consuming media like that, then you may react like this when Donald Trump has a landslide victory.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up in my way. Disney Plus.
Anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this. Right now, I'm just not. I can't deal with this right now. I am 48 years old and I have never experienced anything like this and never thought I would in this country. No, wait.
Remember, these people turned on their cameras intentionally. That man has literally turned on his camera to do that. I'm sure y'all have seen several of these meltdown videos, several of these crash out videos. They did that on purpose. They literally turned the camera on to weep, wail, and cry. I just want you to remember that. They did that on purpose.
I'm so stressed. I don't know how to handle this.
Oh, I'm so sad. But the best reaction goes to this jokester. This is superb work.
I'm literally shaking right now. I'm a trans woman with a baby on the way. What am I going to do? Keep it?
Now, that was parody. I'm not sure if this next video is. I suspect it could be real. It's hard to tell nowadays.
I can't believe Trump's actually going to win this thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so up. God damn it.
And here is another white dude for Kamala, or is it a work of satire?
What the hell? You cannot be serious. How did I wake up to this garbage as my president? That's right, garbage. I went to bed last night and she was ahead. I woke up to this freak.
You must have went to bed in another universe. She never was ahead.
Nightmare. Donald Trump? How? Does America have this many Nazi Hitler following pieces of trash?
Let's end lefties with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, pretending she's some heroine in a Nazi film. Here she warns that we're about to enter a period of fascism. I'm so scared.
Let's say peers in history of mass movements of people that mobilize to protect one another in times of fascism and authoritarianism. And this is the era that we are poised to enter.
And that's it from me. I'll see you Sunday morning for Outsiders. Good night.
I like them. I like Sky News, man. Shout out to Sky News. That was a blind reaction. I hadn't seen that before. I do want to say this. Shout out to those persons again. If you did vote for Kamala and whatever, it's perfectly fine. You're welcome here to the best live chat on the internet. You're welcome to be a part of the gang. We're all inclusive. We invite them all. Now, that being said, however, you do have one requirement, because this isn't authoritative. This is a wit-tatorship over here. All right. So because I'm wit, let me make sure I change that. I am wit. This is a wit-tatorship in honor of Trump supposedly going to be a dictator. I'm going to make myself a wit-tator. All right, there you go. All right. I'm the wit-tator here. Here it is. So what you have to do now, what you got to do now is make sure you hit that like button. All right. Make sure you hit that like button. And you're a part of the best live chat on the internet. So make sure, obey the wit-tator. There you go. That was actually kind of silly. I have to give myself credit for that one. That was pretty dumb. Hey, there's a couple things though. Somebody asked a question. I want to say it was I am her. I think it was you. And if it's not you, I apologize. If it was somebody else, please forgive me. Somebody asked, well, what happens to the infamous here in Atlanta, the infamous election interference case? What happens with that? That's a great question. And I'm glad you asked. So what happens to Trump's Georgia election interference case after his election win? And this is from Fox News Atlanta. Let's bring it up. Let's read it. Let's go. That looks pretty good. I think I probably need to make that bigger. All right, let's do it like this. Bang, that's a lot better. All right, here it comes. Fulton County, Georgia. President-elect Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 election could end his election interference case in Fulton County. I got to find the tape, because I said this a long time ago. I said this is what's going to happen once he's reelected, that this case is going to go away. And we've been saying it because the case has been kind of slow dragging for months. And I believe this is where they knew it was coming to. got a theory. Y'all know I'm good on my theories. I think the whole game was to have him be a felon in one of those cases, and they got it in New York. And after New York, all the other cases kind of evaporated. That's not let me do what I want to do. I'm trying to make the screen bigger. I won't do it. Whatever. I don't know how you Mac people put up with this thing. All right, here, let me drop this link in the chat too, by the way. If you want to check it out, I'm going to drop it right here. And there we go. All right, let's go. Let's go. Trump and 18 of his allies were indicted in the grand jury in 2023 under Georgia's Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, or RICO. The nearly 100-page indictment details dozens of acts by Trump and his allies to undo his defeat in 2020 election by President Joe Biden, including beseeching Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes for him to win the battleground state, harassing an election worker who faced false claims of fraud, and attempting to persuade Georgia lawmakers to ignore the will of the voters and appoint a new state electoral college electors favorable to Trump. More than a year after the indictment, the case had stalled with no chance of going to trial before the end of the year. And we talked about that pretty seriously, because they're not even going to hear the case until December. So the appeal to even decide that they were going to, the appeal for whether or not Fani Willis would be removed from the case isn't going to even be heard until December. And I'm like, it's December 7th to be exact. I'm like, that's a month after the election. It's not going to happen. Okay, let us continue. The case has been further complicated by allegations of an improper affair between Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Hey, fix your spelling there. You got spelling error right there. Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. I think it's really interesting that they say allegations. Like, they literally admitted that they were having a relationship. That's not slander. That's a reality. They said it. They admitted that they was doing it. They was doing it. They was doing a thing. I don't know why newspapers do that. A prosecutor she hired to help bring the case against Trump. Willis and Wade acknowledged the relationship, but said they had split travel and other costs. So what's the purpose of it? The allegations that it actually is an affair. Like, I don't understand. We don't have to act like we don't see that. We know it's actually an affair. What are you talking about? Because Nathan Wade is still married, or was still married. Well, there we go. To God be the glory. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's go. A Fulton County judge found the pair showed a tremendous lapse in judgment, but had no conflict of interest as long as Wade left the case. Wade resigned hours later. Trump and other defendants have appealed the judge's ruling, and the Georgia's Court of Appeals is set to hear the arguments in December, with a ruling expected in mid-March. That's mid-March of 2025. In the meantime, the appeals court has barred Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee from taking further action against Trump and the others participating in the appeal while it's pending. So they can't do any work related to it. So when they get back in December, they're not going to be able to do any work from now until December. And the case has been on pause since, I want to say, August, maybe early September. So what they're going to do? Because he's going to be in office on January 15th or whenever it is. Just let that settle in. That's all I'm saying. Donald Trump, Fulton County trial. What's next? Even if the appellate court decides that Willis can remain on the case, it seems unlikely that she could move forward with the prosecution of Trump back with Trump back in the White House. Defense attorney Manny Aurora represented lawyer Kenneth Chesborough, one of the co-defendants who pled guilty in 2023. Speaking to Fox 5 I-Team, Johnny Edwards, Aurora said that the case is done and was a colossal waste of Fulton County taxpayers, I agree. Tax dollars. There's going to be no consequences whether allegations are true or not, Aurora said. In July, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that former presidents have absolute immunity from prosecution for official acts that fall within their exclusive sphere of constitutional authority and presumptively entitled to immunity for all official acts. They are not protected for unofficial or private actions. Trump's lawyers in Georgia had already filed a motion earlier this year asserting presidential immunity. If Willis is allowed to continue her prosecution at some point, his lawyers will surely use the Supreme Court ruling to argue it should be dismissed, causing more delays. Whether the results of the arguments over the Supreme Supremacy Clause, Trump's lawyers have also said they will seek to pause the case against Trump until the Republican president-elect is out of office, which is crazy work. So he will be out of office in 2028. So they're gonna still bring up 2020, 8 years later. Okay. Unfortunately, they took 2 years to break it, or however much time it was, Aurora said. This just shows you, if you're going to bring charges, expedite it. While Trump's case may not proceed, the other defendants, including former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows or Trump's attorney and former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, could see the cases still go forward. Okay. And that is it to answer your question. What happens? I think it was. Okay. So I think it was your question. I am her, but hopefully that answered that for y'all. Shout out to Lucy05, who is a brand new gang member. Shout out to you for joining the crew. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Absolutely. And make sure you run over to the community page and find out about how to join the Discord. All right. So what are y'all talking about? I'm with you right there, Harriet. She says, after seeing how the states work on YSL trial, Trump has nothing to worry about. That is a very true statement. That is a very true statement. Thank you so much, Felicia. I appreciate you. Y'all are the best live chat. Y'all know y'all are. Y'all know it. But so yeah. Sadly, our guest was not able to come through, which is again perfectly fine. I understand sometimes there's conflicts and things like that, and we'll just make it work another time. Any questions? Let me see real quick. Any questions? I'm gonna grab a few of those. If you got a question, concern, comment, you can even bring your concerns to management. Management is listening on today. I'm gonna get some. Let me get some taking question music. All right. Any questions? Drop question in front of them, and I'll answer them for you as best I can. What's up, Mo? Good to see you, friend. Grace and peace to you. Good to see you. I got a question. Mo says, Rome King says, did you wash your greens in the tub? I did not. I did not. I can't say that I've ever done that. I've steered clear of that. You're out of control. As David said, have you or anyone looked into the Bumpus marriage allegations? Okay, this is a good one. Thank you so much. All right. If you've noticed, I do my very best to stay away from things that might be salacious as it relates to these YouTube streets. There are a lot of things that happen behind the camera, off camera, David, that would make you think, yo, YouTube is wild. And one of those is messing around with other YouTubers that are embroiled in some shenanigans. If you notice, I don't mention a whole lot of YouTubers in the drama because I don't think it's appropriate for this channel. And I also don't want to drag you all, the best live chat on the internet, into that foolishness. So, as the content creator, I choose to not address a lot of those topics because I don't want to chum the water, if you will. And then people are like, oh, Jason over there talking about so and so, and Jason was over there saying this and that. And then they come over here and start misbehaving and driving the moderators crazy. So that's why I don't talk about it. To the point, I don't know what that is. That's a very interesting story, to say the very least. I'm not invested in it though. And a lot of people know my philosophy. I have to care about it, and I have to want to talk about it 6 months from now. I don't want to talk about that woman. Is she married or not? I really don't. And if she's not supposed to, I'm sorry, if she shouldn't be married to that man, or she is married to that man, and she shouldn't be married to that man, let me tell you who don't care. The Wittator. I don't care about that. I know who I'm married to, and that's all I care about. It's rough enough being married over here at Whitaker Park. I ain't worried about nobody else being married on Zoom or whatever y'all doing. Y'all have fun. God bless you. God keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you. There you go. So that's why I don't mess with it. And so I leave a lot of that stuff. I don't even mess with it. I just don't. I don't think it's productive for us. And I don't want that stuff over here. I just don't. So that's why I don't deal with it. That's gonna probably be the most you're gonna hear me talk about it. What is going on? Lots of good people. Yeah, YouTube is wild. Yo, this thing is, and hear me, it's wild on the content creator side. There's a lot of stuff y'all don't see. There's a lot of stuff I don't bring up to y'all. There's a lot of that out here. It's kind of wild. I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, are you for real? Is this what we doing now? It's taking a lot of twists, a lot of turns, and I want to just keep it in one Charlie. I try to stay as best I can. If I can keep our focus on what's going on in one Charlie, I think that's the best thing. That's what y'all tune in for. When that's what y'all want to hear. Y'all don't necessarily want to hear about that salacial stuff because y'all gonna hear a lot about it anyway. So I'm gonna let y'all hear about it. I'm not castigating you. I'm not saying it's not interesting. I'm not saying it's not like, oh, I'm not saying that. I just don't want to bring it over here. I don't know. So and so even more than that, I don't know how it could impact the trial. Maybe it could. Maybe it could throw the whole thing off. I don't know. So that's why I don't know. So my interest in it, like I said, my philosophy is I have to care enough to talk about it 6 months from now. So I know the things that I want to talk about. And for the most part, I think I want to talk about this in April. So that's why I want to. So I want to still be talking about the election and what Trump is doing right. And, oh, you thought Trump was going to do bad and this is what he's doing right. That kind of stuff. I want to be talking about that in April. I want to talk about prayerfully this YSL trial will be done by April, so on and so forth. So I am not going to be talking about. And besides, they didn't even invite me to the wedding. So I'm upset. I could have brought them something. I could have got them something from off the registry. I'm a sympathetic guy. I have a heart. They didn't invite me. So therefore, that's why I'm not even messing with them, because I'm upset. That's what it is. I'm mad they didn't invite me to the wedding. Want to have some cake? I can dance at do the cha-cha slide. I could dance there. I bring good gifts. And look, Lady Dear Woke Christian likes bringing gifts. So they messed up, man. They should have invited me to the wedding. There you go. That's it. So that's it. And there we go. Yes. All right. Yeah. I don't do TMZ. Yeah, they can go. Y'all going to do it. God bless you. Y'all do that thing. The hitman ain't got no time for that. All right. Let me see. It's some good conversation going on. The wedding was serving Casamigos and Mary J. You know what? I was thinking you meant Mary J. Blige, the Thinking, oh my gosh, I know. Oh my gosh, wrong. Oh, I walked right into that. They had goose. They had goose there. They had goose there. Hey, come on. Why didn't y'all invite me? I could have. Now look, I don't drink, but I would. I could have been designated driver or something. Oh, David, you don't ever have to apologize, brother. You good? You good? Uh-oh, I skipped your question. What I say? You said I skipped your question. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't see this. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know anything about the cops stealing the watch, but according to other people who've talked about how, like, just think about it. Just think about it. Okay. I've thought about this forever. Like, we all saw when Diddy's house was raided, I think it was like March. And like, they'll kick your door in, come in there and get the stuff that they need, that they're looking for, and walk out. They don't secure your house. They don't. It is very possible they could kick your door in, run ram your gate open, get in your house, tear your garage doors off, and leave your house basically open. Because they done arrested everybody in your house, and your house could be unsecured. That thing is crazy. They don't secure your house. So that being the case, I'm not surprised stuff goes missing. And like, if you just walk in the house and you see a load of cash right there, what? I'm sorry. That's why I couldn't do that. So I don't know. So to the point right here, I'm not surprised that a watch went missing. I'm just sad that somebody's gonna have to pay for it, and this young brother might do something stupid in order to try to fix, try to rectify this problem. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised one bit. Nothing about me is surprised by that. Y'all said ex parte wedding vows. Right. Like, how you ain't gonna invite me to it? Rome, you already in timeout, my brother. Yeah, y'all in it. I mean, so I saw somebody else had the clip. I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was on Twitter. And they compared the watch that they said was stolen and then the watch that the police officer had. I don't think they're the same watch. Now, maybe the watch that was stolen wasn't that exact one. I don't know. I don't think that would be nasty work for you to be wearing. Now, he was in uniform too. So that means and this is like a designer fashion watch. I would hope rather that you would not be wearing a $300,000 watch to go tackle a crackhead down in 5 Points, Atlanta. I would hope that you wouldn't do that, but I'm not putting anything past anybody. So, yeah, like if you just come in somebody's house, if you raid a crack house and there's just cash right there, I don't need to be put in that kind of position. I'm just saying. That's why I'm not a police officer. Because that's just him. Like, what stops you from being dishonest? Like, I don't get it. I mean, look. Yeah, I just don't think. Yeah, and Rome says that. What was it called? I don't know what RM. There's some fashion watch are unique, and he would never wear that. Yeah, I just don't see. Yeah, it would be wild. No, I don't think they do a real inventory. But like, again, what if, I'm responsible for all of the jewelry. So I bring you all the jewelry that I found, not the jewelry that I put in my pocket though, or I tucked in my boots or whatever. Like, I bring you the jewelry that I'm bringing you and say, here, this is the jewelry that they have inventory at. But I got the others in my pocket. Yeah, I hate that. RM watches look like something from Star Wars movies. That's hilarious. What is it called? What's the kind of watch? What are they? Richard Milley. Yeah, those do look wild. Yeah, that looks insane. $500,000 for this watch. I got more questions in a little bit. Like, what makes this watch so expensive, y'all? That's crazy. Y'all, wow, that's crazy. It's a knockoff cop. There you go. Yeah, see that, Rome. I can't see. I can't look at you some kind of way because that's why I'm not a police officer. I just couldn't do that. See, cash is free game. That's crazy. Rims ain't cheap. Y'all are wild. If you got any questions, I'll answer them real quick. Just doing a quick Q&A. See, the only problem with that is I think the chain of command, I think people are missing. It's Atlanta police that arrested Young Thug. So if it went missing, it would have been missing somewhere in the custody of Atlanta police. I can't imagine how it would have gotten from Atlanta police to Fonnie Willis, Nathan Wade in the DA's office. Those are like two different groups of people. I mean, anything could happen. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just like, I can't imagine how it would happen. Yeah, you just got too much money. If you're spending that much on a watch, and that's crazy. And these watches are not really that interesting looking. They look unique though. That whoever said they were unique, you were not lying. Let me pull it up real quick. Whoever said that, yeah, these are definitely on the unique category. No question, no lie there. But like, who's buying that? Like, this look like you mad at somebody. Like, this look like anger. That thing says $500,000 on purpose. This one says $1.6 million watch. Is that on purpose? Oh, I bet you they will give you free shipping. I bet you they will. Richard Milley. Okay. It's called a McLaren. All right. Oh, here's a Star Wars watch. There you go, your Star Wars watch right there. Y'all, these watches are insane. Oh, here we go. This is my range right here. 229. Okay, that's at least kind of sort of in my ballpark. There we go. I can roll with that. That's about where my budget is made at best. And if anybody wants to send me one, I ain't gonna be mad at you. Just don't be mad at me when I sell it. But I guess, yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Okay, what does it say? They are made in like sets of 25 worldwide, and they are complicated. RMs can only be made by hand too. So they're more complicated than Rolex. I've seen a couple Rolexes taken apart and like refurbished and stuff like that. So they're more complicated. They just look ugly. Like, that's just not a look. If I were a watch person, I would not want that one, even if I had the funds to pay for it. But interesting. It's too flashy. Well, there you go. You know what? There you go. Dave hit the nail on the head. That's how bad inflation is right now. First I heard 150K for a watch. A week later, it's 500K. There you go. Now Trump's back in office. They're gonna be $999. There you go. The whole market's gonna crash. There you go. I bet they took the whole inventory itself rather than motivation trial. All right, not really good. Yeah, Are you a watch? I think you said Rome. I think Rome said he was a watch person. Yeah, I think it's a knockoff though. Ruger's mom. I think the police officer had a knockoff. Was it Richard Milley watch? But yo, they got a pre-owned one. I just saw that pre-owned Richard Milley. 119. Look at this watch. Like, this watch is not what I've been missing. What? Why? Man, y'all do not have to worry. You do not have to worry. I mean, I think watches are kind of fascinating, and we can make something like that can keep time and it just does it, those little tiny intricate parts. That's kind of neat. I always think that's very interesting. But that band looks like it is made out of pure neoprene. You are not buying me no $120,000 watch and give me some neoprene band. That band better be made out of. No, I need a gold band. It better, man, come on. It better look like something from Tony Stark's made for $120,000. That looks like neoprene. That does look like a fake. That looks like rubberized band. Man, come on. You got to be kidding me. That is a rubberized band. Man. You done put $120,000 watch on a neoprene. Man, get up out of here. Y'all play too much. Okay. All right, let me leave that alone. That is crazy. Oh, they had a Black Friday. They had a Black Friday sale. I didn't see that. Y'all be paying attention. Oh, they got Rolex. They got certified Rolexes up here. Oh, I don't even wear a watch. See, this is what, like, okay, now I'm not a watch person at all, but if, like, I would wear that. Like, that's the kind of watch I can understand. I can understand this. That other stuff, I'm like, what in the world? And that's only $45,000. Compared to that other stuff, man. I'm gonna do a Rolex marathon or something. Try to get Rome King to sponsor me or something. All right, how did we get on watches? How did we get here? Where's the on ramp? If you had any questions, feel free to hit the question. Drop a question in the chat. I'll answer a few of them. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. And my allergies are going crazy, but we're gonna make them. They're doing okay. I'm trying to hang in there. All right, what we got here? Yeah, I thought you said that, Rome King. You're right. Okay, I thought you did say you're a watch person. So, okay, Rome, would you rather have a Rolex or the Richard Milley? Which one would you rather have? Drop in chat. You know what, Rome? Just jump in here, man. So we stop playing. Just jump in here while we sit there talking trash. That's for Rome King. He might be out somewhere driving with his car with some IG model, but if you have time for us, Rome King. Look, she just said, look, I love my Apple Watch. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I was thinking about getting a watch again. I haven't had a watch in years. And I was one of those people like, oh, I will never let go of my watch. And I don't know what happened. I think a watch broke. And I was like, but I got my phone. And I never did. I haven't had one in quite some time. So. That 100K will flip to 300K eventually, and sometimes 500K over time. Okay. What, you talking about the watch? Really? Yikes. That's great. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, these people talking about Daytona. What's a Daytona Rolex? Oh, this is also the pre-owned. So I guess I'm looking at the pre-owned ones, but they're probably a little less. See, like, okay. All right. Last time, I'm done with watches after this, okay? After this one is over. This makes sense to me, though. Like, this is a metal band. That makes sense. I do not see these Rolexes with some neoprene band. Yeah, that looks like a band that you should have on there. Oh, look at that. Okay. You know, neoprene going on up in here. Okay. That's the end of it. That's the end of story time or story time. See what I did there? Story time. Talking about watches. That's the end of that. What? I have more than 300 Invicta watches. Collect over. What? That's what are those? Invicta, what is that? Y'all are wild, man. I love y'all. Invicta watches, what is that? All right. That looks like, that the first one. Oh, these are a reasonable price though. I can get down with it though. Oh, these are nice. Okay. Maybe this is what the guy was wearing because this kind of looks like it. From the, oh, y'all can't see it. It's from the vault, they said. I know I clearly just said we ain't gonna talk about watches anymore, and now we're back here talking about watches. That's not bad. Okay. I can dig it. I mean, it kind of looks like the Millie watch thing. Okay, I can dig it. I think Rome is like a watch collector too, or was a watch collector. I did say only. When I said it, I thought about it. I was like, wait, that did sound really different. When I'm comparing it to the watch that was $500,000, Bruce, I said, oh, this one is only $45,000. But again, the way my budget is made, I'm gonna need to take the $1,000 off and like stick with 45. So it is $45. Yeah, but it did sound weird. When I said it, I was like, that doesn't sound right. Thanks for calling me out, man. I appreciate you. Keep me humble, man. Keep me straight. Rolex are more reasonable, but once you start collecting, you're misguided. Really? Okay. Yeah, I don't think I won't be collecting watches. This is a great question. TJ, the advocate, said, will I ever offer a YouTube course for beginners? I will absolutely, positively, probably not do a course in that sense, but I will absolutely mentor new content creators. I told y'all before, I absolutely love helping people in this space and using my God-given skills and talents of education and teaching. I will gladly help you. So we can come up with something. If you want to shoot me an email, we can gladly talk about it. Really? Yeah, man, this guy is about this watch. Okay. So you would wear that watch, the Richard Mille, above a Rolex? Interesting. Okay. Oh, and by the way, TJ the advocate, I think, here, I'm just gonna drop my emails down in the chat right now, just in case. Yes, absolutely, Felicia. She says, is N-Dog still the unindicted co-conspirator of the Slime DWC gang? Absolutely. Matter of fact, she making sure that she get indicted right here. N-Dog dropped 5 memberships. Shout out to you. She jump in more people than anybody I know. Shout out to N-Dog. I appreciate you. Thank you so much We're blessing 5 people with memberships into the best live chat on the planet's gang. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Indog. Make sure y'all say thank you. You got that? And if you don't have your notifications on, let me back that up. If you don't have on receiving gift memberships, you want to make sure that's turned on. If the moderators could drop that link. There's a short video that explains how to do it to make sure you have your YouTube is set so you can receive a gift membership. So when somebody like Indog is throwing out gift memberships, I'm gonna do some too. I'm gonna do them on Sunday though, but that way you can actually receive the gift memberships. So what is that? I would rather sell my house than my Vachorin. What in the world? What are y'all over here? Now over here turning this into offer up a bit over here. Now let me see. This sounds like something expensive. It's a watch. I knew it. I knew it. Really? This is nice. Oh yeah, this is very fancy. Oh my. Here, let me show y'all real quick. How do y'all keep bringing me back to watches, man? I don't even have a watch. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. That's kind of cool. I like that right there. Okay, I see y'all. What is that? Oh, you know what? It's in another language. Let's see if it fixes that. It's self wines. What is that? Yeah, these are nice watches of whoever law and above. Okay. You got some nice fanciness. I can get down with that. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. Stop talking to me about watches. I'm ignore all watch comments now. Not talking about watches. We're done. Oh, mercy. Just when I said we're done. Just when I thought we were done. Just when I thought it was safe.
Hey, man. Hey, man. You can't keep talking about my favorite stuff, man. This is not going to fly. I'll find time to talk about watches, but first.
This rascal said he'll find time.
First, we got to talk about this Judge Paige.
What did she do? What's Paige doing?
Look, Momac,
talk to me.
She reminded me. She dropping the bad rapper word while reading evidence from the state. So she dropped the N-ball. And she said it with so much finesse that nobody expected it. Like the court reporter looked back. Miss Hilton looked back. Everybody like, what? Hey, y'all still gonna let it slide?
I'm not. Okay. I hold a very, and I told the Discord, I hold a very unpopular opinion about the infamous N word.
Look, she said it like she's been rapping before though, so it wasn't like she said it in a harsh way.
She might be spinning some bars.
Listened to T.I. She probably listened to a little trap music there.
She's been trying to get herself up to speed on what's going on in this case because she's like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Look, she a fan. Things have changed.
Right, she a fan now. She's like, okay, well, hey, what's going on here? Let me
to the cookout. She got a plate. You know, she got her little brisket now. She got the cookout. She chilling.
There she goes. All right. So, what was your opinion? What did you think about it? Were you clutching your pearls? What happened?
Oh no, yeah, I've heard everything you can think of in my field of career. So, it was funny. It was funny for sure because she said it in a way that where she was kind of just done with them kind of, I guess, filibustering.
Yes.
It was just like, why do you want to talk about this? Like, this has nothing to do with nothing. They're talking about getting drunk at the club and women. Like, what is this? And then she reads it back out. So it was funny. It was funny. because they were just talking trash like some dudes do. They'll just be like, "Look, man,
Yeah.
I'm finna go out here tonight. I'm gonna have a good time." And then he dropped the N word in there, and she just read by it. No hesitation. So I didn't have an issue with it. If she would have kind of paused or hesitated on it, then that's her mentally knowing like, okay, I'm not supposed to touch that right there. Let me.
All right. So
So
yeah, yep. There you go. You got Momac already. There go Momac right there.
yeah, she reminded me. That's why I came on here. At first, I was gonna come on here about the Richard Mille to explain the complications because that's how you kind of judge watches. It's called complications,
Okay.
and it goes from like a thing called a repeater. So the normal standard watches will have repeater timers that are like 5 minutes and stuff like that. And that's where you can hear the watch tick
Yeah.
and you can see
Somebody
the
just said it.
actual motion.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But Richard
so
Mille
what's
has a
with
minute
your
repeater, so
a what repeater?
you don't hear nothing. A minute
Oh, okay.
repeater. So that's a very hard complication to get. So you don't hear anything and it looks like it's all in one motion. It even reacts to the actual magnetic field of the planet. So it can change timing depending on where you are on the world. All this stuff through mechanics, and they do it by hand. And if you mess up, you're done. And it can take everywhere from 6 months to 2 years to make some of these type of watches. So it is very rare, very complicated, and that's what the collectors are usually try to shoot for at some point. That's why I said if you get into it and you actually start liking watches, it's a bad idea, but they are great investments if you don't mind parting ways with them along the way at some point.
Right. Well, I don't want to. I don't
I
want
thought I
to.
was, but now I got 11 Hublots and they just sit there. They just sit there. I could have bought like a whole like probably 3 houses by now, but I don't want to get rid of them because in my mind I'm like they're just gonna keep going up, right? So don't be like me. If you do get into watches, just just
You
separate
have
the
nothing.
separate the nerdy side from it, and you'll be good to go.
I got you.
You're
You
good
do
to
not have
go,
to worry
man.
about me. I am not the best at keeping up with watches like that. So it is very possible that.
I said that at one point too.
All right, let's do it, Ray.
I
Ray
said
is
that at
sending
one
me.
point too. You gonna get this YouTube money? Wait, just wait. You're like, you
Uh
know what? That Rolex looking kind of nice today. Let me. And
oh.
then that's where you
Okay.
mess up. And they go from there.
So Ray is sending me pictures. Yeah, and let me see. He sent this also in the Discord as well. I don't think these are the same watches, and I think Ray sent. Let me see if I can send a picture. Share this
I
picture
put
real
my
quick.
a part of my collection in our hobbies chat. Yeah.
Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. Okay, sorry about that. Let me put you back in there. All right, so
That's a
this.
skeleton watch. So those are hard to make too because everything is transparent.
Okay, so that's the first one, and then this is the one that the police officer had, and this is the one that
Yep.
Young Thug allegedly had that was missing. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Why
is
can't I make
correct.
this bigger?
So the reason why that
Okay.
is expensive is because you can see the mechanics. You don't have a
Yeah.
face covering anything. It's probably a self rewinder, which is like you ain't gotta twist. Um, and of course that minute repeater, that complication. So if somebody wore that in court, you would know. It's not a small watch, and it's
Right.
not hard to miss.
It looks humongous. So
It is. It can cover like your entire wrist. If you like got a wrist like mine is usually thicker, it'll still just kind of it'll fit. It's a man's watch, pretty much.
this is a man's watch.
Can't buy it for your
Y'all did
old
not
lady
want that. I'm
because
sorry, y'all.
if
Y'all
you
did not
put that
want
on a
that.
woman wrist, it's gonna look goofy for sure.
Do they have a woman's version of it? I
They
didn't
do
even check.
not.
I'm not. I already said I'm not messing with y'all. All right, let me
You can
answer this
try.
question.
They do not.
All right, let me see real quick. All right, this question right here. How did you get comfortable with the camera?
That's a good question.
Yeah, especially from the person that's never shown himself. Like shout out to Rome King. I
Look.
got comfortable with the camera because I don't have a problem. My biggest issue was my voice. I didn't like my voice when I first started. So being in front of the camera was fine. I had no problem with it.
Did
I
y'all see his
also
first videos? I need y'all to go back and check out his first videos, guys. Please, please. Like the first 5, and you will see like if he can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody.
You're a
It was
hoot,
so
but
priceless and innocent. It was so innocent.
like, what is that doing? What is going on
I
here?
reviewed it and I was like, this man is so wholesome. I can't.
Let me go find it. Hold on. Okay, I'm looking, but I'll say this though, Bruce. What I did also when I first started, as with most things that I do, and I really am like going in on it, I really find ways to like overcomplicate it. So what I mean by that is I did like I literally put a video up every day for like 2 months, stuff like that. Or I did shorts for like almost a whole year. Every day I put up a short, like that kind of stuff like that to get myself into the habit as well as become super comfortable with it. So that would be my recommendation is just get some reps in. Just go ahead and practice and know that your first video is not going to be the best video. So just go ahead and
Right.
accept it and
And Bruce, make
roll
sure
along.
you aren't under any contract obligations or anything like that, or in a field of work where it can conflict with
Oh,
your work. So you just make
yeah.
sure if you're good with that, all we're gonna support you, bro. We're definitely gonna
Yeah.
support you.
All right. So okay, so my first videos at
Gemini said, let's see it.
I'm about to bring it up. So sadly, my first videos are not the oldest videos. So if you go look on my channel, there's some older videos, but they're not technically my first videos. Because I remember I told y'all I used to batch record a lot of my stuff, and I might have got rid of them. Hold on, maybe I nuked all of the ones where I was with on my tablet. I think I
My
did.
boy did
Oh
the
yeah.
Kamala cleanse. He's like,
Oh,
let me
okay,
see,
okay,
get all
here.
this out
Oh no,
the
here.
way.
Okay, so this is technically my first video in the house. Let me and it is bad. It is bad. All right. Real quick. All right. So this is
Listen, I'm gonna have to pop in for a second because you about to ruin my flow on something.
what I did. What's wrong?
I have something planned for your 30K and you're about to kill it, so you can't show that first video. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Shout out
Holla.
to Mandy.
Shout out to Mandy. All right. Well, stay
Sorry,
tuned.
love you, mean it.
Oh, okay.
But let me reenact. I don't know if anybody's watching or if anybody's here. But hey, everybody. All
I
right,
mean,
there you go. All right, bye, everybody.
by now. I was literally using a tablet, and I don't think technically I have to go back and listen to it. I don't think the microphone was on. I think it was
It was
recording
so
through
wholesome.
it was terrible, man. So okay,
It
well,
was
I
wholesome.
guess
I
y'all gonna
looked
find
at
out
it and
another
I was
time.
like, look, my boy got the effort. He put the effort in. I respect
I
it.
put in a lot of effort. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see that. I see somebody say you can't show it. My bad. Okay, my bad. Here, my bad. Nah, okay, my bad.
Look, we got handlers, Jason. We gotta be
We
careful.
got yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh. See, Gemini, you gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble. I'm over here listening to you, and next thing you know, Mandy coming in about to karate chop me. Now I'm over here in
Nah,
trouble.
Mandy came in. I respect it. I respect it. She trying to do
No, I
something for the
appreciate it.
chat. It looks like so. Definitely
But
good fan
yeah, it
base.
was good catch. Good catch. Save me. Because Mandy's about to oh my gosh, that video was crazy. But let's see.
Ray said you had an afro on the first video.
I did, man. No. Yeah, I guess you gotta stay tuned. I had no hat budget. Let's say it like that. I had no hat budget at all.
Look, you came a long way, brother. Look,
Come
I
a long
respect
way.
it.
Come a long way.
I
But
respect it.
let's see. I think we talked about Paige. I think that's all the
We talked
questions that
about
came in.
Paige, and then I had another thought I had for the case. Actually, Monica touched on it on her page for a little bit, her channel.
Okay.
It was about the firearm they found because a lot of people were kind of confusing the firearm, the Glock. I got to be specific, the one with the switch, because they
Right.
found a lot of firearms. It wasn't necessarily the firearm was illegal. The actual Glock was illegal. It was the modification.
Modification.
And a lot of people were thinking like, no, you can modify the gun. You can't put a switch on a Glock. I'm sorry, you just can't. That's federal. You just can't.
Right.
A lot of states have conflicts with it in their law, so they won't even let you do it even if it wasn't federal. But for the most part, yeah, a switch on a Glock is a no-no.
Can you put a
No,
switch on anything else?
probably
Can I put a
not.
switch? Can I put a switch on my Stream Deck to turn off my lights? Yes, I can.
I don't know. ATF may still knock on your door.
Let's see. Boom.
They petty.
Boom. All right.
Don't look. You joke. I'm so serious.
I know.
They are petty. I promise you.
Yeah,
But
wow.
the idea is, even though I know this doesn't make sense to anybody who owns firearms, the idea is the less automatic weapons, the safer law enforcement can be. So they don't want you to really modify anything to become automatic that wasn't already automatic. Even though that's not how it works. But what does a switch? It is a faceplate kind of that goes in the back of a handgun. In this case, a Glock. And when you shoot it, it allows you to make it a fully automatic, which means you don't have to keep pulling the trigger. You can just squeeze the trigger once, and it lets out all 15 or 17 rounds, depending on your magazine. But it's not worth it, in my opinion. Accuracy's gone to like -3.
Then you just
Usually,
spraying.
if that,
Right.
a lot of people, a Glock isn't exactly a strong kickback firearm, but when you got the automatic on it, it's just gonna shoot it up. Like your hand is just gonna fly up. It is what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's not worth it. You're wasting ammunition, and ammunition isn't cheap right now. If anybody knows, it's definitely not cheap. Are they battery powered? No, they're not battery powered.
That is hilarious. No, that's a good one though. I'm sorry.
Monica
I saw
said
a
that's what
go ahead.
got Dolph. They actually had a few weapons that got him. Honestly, it wasn't just one. So, but for the most part, I wouldn't get it for myself personally because I like to be accurate. But
Yeah, I agree.
it's a trend.
A trend in the hood. Hey, I don't know any serious person that says that they're they're going to add that to their repertoire. So people that don't need to have it.
Caustic said you can't put a switch on a Glock, but you can put on a suppressor after going through a rigorous ATF process. Look, Caustic, rigorous is putting it nicely. If anything, they will keep your information in their database that you did it, and that'll be their key to keep bothering you whenever they want or whenever they have an issue going on in the area, and which they will because that's how they got me before, where they would just show up at my door for 3 to 4 months straight, and eventually I had to tell them like, look, I got a law degree, y'all. Just stop. Just stop. You're not coming in here. You're not going to my safe. Just stop. But
Wow.
they will pester you. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, if you do collect or own firearms, don't try to add too much on there that's not covered under federal guidelines. I'll put it that way. Yo, hombre, just need one or two books. You correct
That's
me.
yeah.
No more than that. It'll get the job done.
That's it. That it will. That it will.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. He was like he passed away now. I'm sorry to hear that, Caustic. But it's everything else with the case so far is looking bad for them, though. Yeah, those two
Bad for
jurors that
whom?
popped up.
Bad for whom?
The state.
Wait, you say that like that's something new.
Nah, it's getting worse.
Bro, they've been looking bad.
Look, I know
down
what you're gonna
bad.
say. I know what you're gonna say. And every time I say, I was like, it can't get worse. It gets worse, Jason. It gets
Well,
they're impressive. I've never seen this type of ability to make something worse at this scale and still
Yeah.
continue. So
And Adrian Love hasn't been there that long. So
Look.
it's clearly on them now.
look,
You know what I mean?
don't know. I think she in the background micromanaging.
She might be off camera, out of sight. Yeah.
So the jurors are now kind of like, you can tell like they're kind of folding up right now. They're like, look, man, we don't need like the state right now. Like, can we what are we doing?
Okay. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that Doug and Max are going to stand up and say, hey, the state is not proving their case? We want a direct, what is it called, a direct verdict? Or do you think they're going to go ahead and start making their argument?
I think they're going to make the argument.
Really? Okay.
It's a lot of things that they can prove on their end. I'm sure they got some little expert witnesses on standby for certain stuff. They can't they can't get book deals. Yeah, the jurors.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh wait, they can't, or you're telling them that they can't?
Direct verdict. I honestly see them trying to actually plead their case.
Really? Okay.
Because I feel like they will have better polished witnesses than the state, to be
No
honest.
question.
And I think that would show better on their part, and I don't think it'll be as long as they get that last thought process in the juror's mind to kind of let them know this is what we brought. And if that's the last thought when they go into deliberation, it can help them a big amount. So
Okay.
and then
I got you.
I came in late. If we discussed Ashley in court November 18, out on medical on the 22nd. I don't know about that.
Are they is Martinez Arnold still a witness for the state for these two, or was it for the whole six?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
This whole case is in the ether right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think they ever showed. I don't think Arnold ever came in there because he had to be there with his attorney. But
after all of that stuff happened with that plea deal and all that stuff, a lot of that kind of
messed up,
derailed
right?
their schedule.
Right.
The state gets a rebuttal case. I don't think if they do it, then that's gonna hurt them. My only point is, when you're on the defense, you at least want to get that last thought process in there for the jurors. They probably won't need it, but it's better safe than sorry. All they need is reasonable doubt. That's it.
Right. Yeah. I'm interested, but I okay. Here's another question then for you. Now, Paige says she wants to be done. She believes that they can be done by Christmas.
Be in January. It'll be in January.
You think January?
January, probably late January.
Okay. And that's the end of the trial. That's jury gets instructions.
Right.
Really?
I'm giving them a lot of grace, to be honest. That's if witnesses don't mess up again, or another mistrial motions, or they can't find witnesses and whatnot, or they have motions that extend court time. So I don't see it happening like that, where she says, "Oh, we'll be done by Christmas." That's optimistic at best.
Right. Interesting. Okay. No, I agree with you. I honestly think it's going. I don't think the state's going to be done until January. I'm just being honest. I don't see any reason to believe that they're going to be now, unless y'all saw something and y'all got more faith than I do. Do you believe that they they're demonstrating that they have control of this, because keep in mind they only have like 25 days, possible days of work between now and the end of the year.
I'm trying to be nice to them. You know, as long as Miss Love stay on the bench, it can be. I can see them getting done by late January. Uh, if Miss Love get back in the game and she start doing that little one sentence at a time thing on cross,
Yeah, that's annoying.
yeah. So I'm trying to give them grace for something like that because she do pop up out the blue sometimes. So
And yeah, I'm with you 100%.
yeah.
All right. So how bad does, or how much does Brady affect due process? You want to add?
Affect due process. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Brady and due process are kind of separate, but
Okay.
I'm guessing they're trying to say how can you have due process if you have Brady? Brady is just disclosure of present per se. Um, so it doesn't really affect it too much. If anything, it puts a bad light on the case. Whoever has that Brady information. If there's Brady, then the case is dismissed. Not necessarily, Ray. We would like it to be that way, but um, when it's the state per se, they get a lot of leeway to kind of say, well, their caseload is high, or they got a lot of information they're trying to get in here. They get the benefit of the doubt, so they'll always say, yeah, we don't think they intentionally did it per se. Red folder, cyber attack. So
Yeah. What other things are there? The red folder, cyber attack. What else was
refurbished
it?
notebooks,
The
refurbished
phone number.
yeah.
Yeah.
Green store cameras, they forgot to check.
Mhm.
McDonald's, they forgot to check.
Well, that's not Brady though, because nobody has information.
Look, they got the information. They just I'm telling you, you can tell when the state has the information because of the way they'll start asking questions or doing their examination,
Right.
and then they start to remember like, oh yeah, we said we ain't got it. But we'll see them rare moments where they try to sneak that information they said that wasn't there beforehand. So that's when those cyber attacks and red folder moments appear
No,
because
I agree.
they knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, like, okay, so we do got it. All right, let's try to sneak it in though. Look, they forgot that was in February. We we in October. Let's what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
And they were right. It was a good bet. They didn't get a mistrial.
Good point. Um, but the camera from behind the gas station. I think they have that video,
Oh, for
but
sure.
they have it. I don't know why. Something with how
Oh,
they have it, why they have it, how they got it.
the
They
thing
don't.
that
They
they
can't.
won't show you is conflicting evidence. That's what the defense has proven so far that I've noticed is the state will actually play Stevie Wonder with evidence that can kind of, which is very wrong when you find objective evidence against your narrative for the state. That's supposed to make them pump their brakes. It's supposed to make them say, okay, we can either vindicate this person or at least slow it down to kind of figure out what's going on. Not in Fulton.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
oh, okay, he was in that spot? Nah, don't worry about it. We already wrote up the warrant. Don't worry about it.
I got you. You know, you're right. You're right.
We already indicted. We can't go back now. Sorry.
Yeah, they have the videos. They just won't say. I agree, Ray. I totally agree.
It is the wildest thing I've ever seen. That's that ego. That's how every time I see it, I just see ego. Because it's just like, look, y'all could have saved yourself a lot of embarrassment in a lot of situations. Um, even this, even the cross they had for the evidence in the home, it's very shaped. Like that is the definition of reasonable doubt. Because
Right.
there's so many people that are there, and then Young Thug took the charge for the house. So it's like, what are y'all doing? Because even if
Yeah.
they go by the checkbook, they're gonna say, is it possible that one of those other 11 people that was their drugs or their firearm and so forth. Is it possible? Yes. Reasonable doubt.
There you go. I got some I got some dusty comments. I'm trying not to start dusty comments.
Was that on the thing? I know I saw one, and
But I think you replied to it. I'm like, ma'am. Yeah, you're in this one. Hold on.
Yeah, they was talking crazy. I was like, look, you must be watching something else, man. I don't.
I'm tempted. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to because I don't like when people misrepresent certain key things. Go ahead.
You can make a little point at it to kind of give like a stance on it. Like you said, you may not like it, and that's something that you really need to make clear because certain people will probably look at it and they'll be like, oh, why he's so jumpy about this? Or no, it's you putting words in my mouth. It's you purposely misunderstanding what I'm saying, even though I'm explaining it in the comments.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start Dusty Comments unit. Sorry. I just decided I'm gonna do it. I made an executive call. So in order to do that, you know what I need to do, don't you?
What?
Hold on. Yeah.
Monica Mo Justice. Yak was outside the house. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know. But you know what I need to do?
It was still like 11 other freeloaders there.
Right. They was getting a freeload in, man.
That's what happened when you go to the druggy spot. So it could be anybody. They clearly had shoes everywhere. Like the place was dirty. The place was dirty. Like, come on. It was
They had shoes everywhere.
It was size 6s to size 15s in there. So you look, you can't. Are all those Yak shoes? Of course not.
Of course not. All right, we're gonna shift gears. You ready?
Let's go.
In the social media reaction genre, silly comments are considered especially heinous. At Dear Woke Christian, the dedicated content creators who investigate these horrible comments are members of an elite squad known as the Dusty Comments Unit. These are their stories.
All right, I'm back. So we are going to look at a particularly dusty comment on my most recent video that I did called Sold Out the Church. And it was in reference to looking at these quote unquote pastors and leaders that did a full on love fest over Kamala Harris. And let me real quick make it very clear. There is nothing wrong with me as a person having a political thought and such like that. I am a deacon in my church. So me, Jason, just Jason having a political leaning is perfectly fine. Me, Jason, the Deacon Whitaker, in my Sunday school class, directing people how to vote is completely inappropriate. In my mind, that's not what the church is made for. So I want to real quick just look at this video. I'm sorry, look at the comment that has precipitated this little sidebar today. So real quick, you go here to this video. There's that guy. He didn't have his glasses on, didn't have a hat on. I think he's impersonating me. But there's a comment that's pinned up here at the top. And my point was simply that it was inappropriate for these pastors and the such like that to take a political side. And I've teased this out before. It's wrong for a church to do this for Trump. Okay. There was a church in Arizona, I think one time, early on in the summer, and they opened up their church for a Trump rally because there were too many people and they couldn't do it at the Civic Center. So they opened up the church, which was some colossal edifice, and they had a Trump rally there. And I said that was wrong. It was wrong for them to open it up for. Now, granted, it was like on a Thursday. There was nothing happening, but it's still wrong to do that.
I thought it was obvious. That's why I was like, "You're missing the point in the comments." That's why I responded.
Yeah, I don't think. But see what I'm just giving you a little lay of the land because I think people deliberately and intentionally want to misunderstand
Oh, that was
what
a
I'm
crash
saying.
out. Yeah, they
Right.
were that was definitely a crash out.
Right. I just want to come in here and misunderstand you rather than give you the benefit of the doubt. Say, okay, let me understand what you're saying. Let me understand what your issue is with this. Oh, you hate women. I think that one is adorable. I really do think that is adorable. That is so. I just want
Did
to
you see
cuddle
the
you.
one
Like,
about
oh,
sexism? The one person was like,
yes, this one's about
sexism.
sexism. This is the one
Oh
about sexism.
man.
And I
Oh,
think you're adorable when you say that because you don't clearly you don't know me. I'm married to a woman. I'm
it wasn't
raising
even
2
that.
women.
It was like Kamala got to a spot. If you want to talk about sexism, name a man that had a career like Kamala. I'll wait.
I'll wait.
It just don't happen. There's no way he can find a woman that's gonna put him in an attorney general spot with no competitors, and then move them to the White House, and then give them the chair after their VP and say, you know what, run for me, baby. Like that's not gonna happen for a man. I'm sorry.
Not gonna happen. So I'm just gonna give shout out to Mr. Kelvin Tyler. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I was not intending to make this a dusty comment, but now,
Mandy said, and he employs women.
yeah. Well, there you go. Well played. Sir, you are incorrect. I understand what you are saying. However, you fail to understand that church folk do vote. No, I am not wrong in the least, except I misspelled lease.
Yeah, I didn't want to correct you.
No, I want to correct me because that's messed up. So shout out to me. Negative, give me a negative point for that. Take
No,
take away a point.
I still like the comment. I knew what you were trying to say, but I was like, you know what, we're gonna ignore it. It's
I
Jay.
totally was. It was too early in the morning.
He been teaching our kids for decades. We'll let it go. Let's go.
Well, thank you so much. Who's the Lord of the church? Dear woke Christian, you are not talking about the church. We are not talking about the church. Real quick. I just want to go right up here. I just want to go right here.
The title.
Okay. All right. I'm not trying to be funny. Sold out Chick-fil-A.
Okay, I
No.
misread it. You know,
Okay.
I must got
Sold
I'm
out
dyslexic now. It's crazy.
the Goodwill. No. Okay. Sold out Starbucks. No, it says the church. In the video I am talking about, it's inappropriate to do
You
this.
didn't even necessarily talk that much, to be honest. It was kind of just examples after examples, and then you gave your quick boom point. It's
I
like,
thought
hey, this
I
ain't
thought it was
right.
pretty clear. So when this person says we're not talking about the church, what are we talking about? It literally is in the title. Kelvin, like if it's not in the title, then I guess maybe we could be a little bit more fuzzy about it. But I
I
think
guess
it's in the title, my guy. Let us continue.
they thought they said something too.
He knew he was cooking. That brother knew he was cooking too. You have an issue with pastors or leaders advocating for a specific party. You know what? That is true. I don't believe the church should never, ever be involved with a political party.
Amen.
That's it. That should never be the case. And I've gone ad nauseum about this topic. I've talked about this, but I have zero issue. Remember earlier on, I told you, you must be willing to talk about this 6 months later. I have absolutely no problem talking about this 6 years from now because I've been talking about it for the last 3.5 years. I got no problem with it. I will talk about this topic till the cows come home. And then when we turn them into ground beef and turn them into brisket, I will still be talking about this topic, specific party. But honestly, I can be wrong. But your issue is that she, Kamala, is a woman.
Has she ever won a primary? Has she actually won any elected base thing with an opponent on the other end?
Not a thing.
So is that not sexism?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm
Because
tripping. Maybe I'm tripping.
because if church leaders advocating for a party was your concern, you would have mentioned the pastors and leaders that advocate for Trump.
Whataboutism. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Y'all know I hate whataboutisms. Y'all know I hate that, but okay. And then shout out to Rome King. Respectfully, you missed the point, fam. And I just said, you don't watch my content. I have entire videos on pastors supporting Trump. Before you hop in the comments, please do some research. Thanks. And then I'm being a good person. I actually dropped the link to the video that I said where the church opened up for a Trump rally. And then I also show other instances where other people, and I think most of these are men. It's like Umar Johnson and other social activists that are inside churches giving speeches and such like that. And I said those are wrong. So I think I'm pretty consistent, but following this person's logic, I have a problem with, because Kamala is a woman. What's my problem with Umar Johnson?
I got a lot of problems with him.
Well, I got a lot of problems too. I'm also bitter because he has hair and I don't. So I'm upset about that. Like, God,
Look,
come on.
he
You bless me with all this.
Look, that man been stealing enough. Look, the hair come with the theft.
Right, the hair. And then here we go here. I love this. And I always find these interesting, and I'll explain why in a second. Dear woke Christian, be the solution and not the person on the sideline always criticizing. I will be
Wait, time out right there. Time out right there.
You want Alexander O'Neill?
Sideline criticizing. You're on a video.
I was gonna say that, but wait, I was gonna also point out this person has no content of his or her own, so they're not even sidelining. They're still sitting in the parking lot in their car, in their Pinto, trying to stay warm. They haven't even
in the parking lot. Look, they can't get past the fence. They just
right.
out.
They're not even involved in it at all. Forget the sideline. You're not even in the parking lot. I do watch your content. I agree with much of it. I even agree with most of what you said on this subject. What are we talking about then? Because all I talked about was the fact that churches shouldn't be advocating for one political party over another or either.
I strongly dislike when people try to do this little gaslighting thing where I watch your stuff, man, and I agree with everything else, but it's your first time seeing me, and I said that, stop
playing. The problem with always criticizing is one that the problem with always criticizing is the one that's doing such isn't providing a solution. That's why I said you didn't watch anything. I've watched.
Raynette said, but I'm interested why you guys as church Christians that want to separate church from state, because that's the way it's meant to be in the
please let me I've already put a little star by it. I will absolutely unequivocally talk about this topic. Again, if you're willing to talk about it for 6 months, then you're willing to talk about it. I will talk about that and I'll answer that in a second. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I just got to finish my dusty comment because I don't want to stay dusty. All right. Stay dusty. I actually like your content, but at some point you have to get in the fight. What is the fight? The fight is, my fight is for the church and the protection of the church and not allowing the church to become one-sided, lopsided social club, political activism network. Because I guarantee you, he would not write this to Jamal Bryant. He wouldn't write this to William Murphy. He wouldn't write this to Yolanda Adams or any of those others that were in that video. He wouldn't write that to them. He only write that to me. There you go. Well, and somebody else, Spicy King, somebody else jumped in here. Well, let me say, it is time to check the church and expose them. They sell out every time. I haven't heard one of them speak on injustice the entire time. Didn't get me on them. Don't get me on them. I'll talk about one every 15 minutes. Okay.
We watched Fanny line of church on Martin Luther King birthday. Like that's what happened when you put politics in the church. You blasphemy, literally.
There you go. So I asked Spicy Person here, what's the purpose of the church? Which I think is the, in my opinion, that is the missing link. And then my good brother, Willie Doc, your brother as well, Rome, says to management, can we have the return of the dusty comments? Thank you. And Willie Doc, you're welcome.
Shout out. Shout
out to Willie Doc. All right, let's talk about this real quick. All right, so to answer Renee's question, And I love this question because I think it's very, very important because it goes to show.
Shout out to Raynette.
Raynette, shout out. And no harm, no foul. I
No,
don't
that's
want to
the
sound.
sister. I respect her. She
Yeah.
probably genuinely asking.
And she says this: most church folks don't support separation of church and state. And I agree, sadly, that they don't. And where's your full question? I'm sorry. Right here. Is this it? Men are the biggest of what? Me, folks, next to Karen's. But I'm interested in why you guys, as church Christians, that want to separate the church from the state. Okay, there we go. All right. Here it is. I asked the question in this Dusty comment, and I usually ask this question of everybody. What is the purpose of the church? And I ask that question not to be coy or not to get you over a barrel, but there's a problem. Many people see the purpose of the church to be man-centric. And what I mean by man-centric is me as a human, you as a human, coming to this place and getting your needs met. Now, there's an element of that, but it's not the focus. What is the focus, purpose, intention of the church? Well, the purpose of the church is primarily to worship God. And if we look at the scriptures, if we look at and we see this all throughout the Old Testament, you see this a lot. If you actually,
I'm gonna put it this way. I like this specific chapter because it does include my name in some kind of way. But I believe it's definitely in Romans, probably 13 or 13:2, something like that.
there it is.
And it literally breaks down like, government is used to punishment of evil men, but God is the one who ordains all punishment overall. So it's like you can't take the government and then instill it into something that's biblical. It's contradicting. So when you see a lot of new Christian, you know, how do I put it? I want to be respectful because if they're looking for God, I don't want to discourage it, but a lot of new Christians will misinterpret to better their benefit financially or even just for attention. So it's not like it used to be to where you would be like, okay, I see they have a genuine reason to be here. They're not here for any other purpose except for looking for the word of God. You see a lot of things now where they're just using church to justify or give them latitude to say certain things or platforms. So it's not as clear as it used to be. That's all I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate it. So, and all throughout the Old Testament, you see God calling his people out of somewhere. You see him calling them out of Babylon. You see them calling them out of Egypt. You see him calling them out of several different places to what? Worship God. And those are what we call the embryonic state of the church, or the seed form of the church, the assembling of God's people, where he's called them from somewhere to something else. And now jumping to where we are now on this side of the cross, on this side of Christ's death, burial, and resurrection and ascension, we as the church are here to worship God.
Right.
So when you say it like that, then a lot of the stuff that you're probably thinking in the back of your head, kind of like, well, should we be doing those things? And there is part of the problem. A lot of the things we do in, I call it the industrial church complex, really isn't appropriate to be doing. And one of those ones primarily is where we're looking right here is having politicians in church. Now, let me explain why there's an issue with that. So now I am pastor, dear woke Christian, and I have a church. And let's say Rome King is he's an unbeliever. He's looking for a church. God has saved him miraculously through the power of the preached word, and he wants to join a church. Well, he comes to, dear woke Christian Presbyterian, where I'm the pastor, and we have a politician that strongly disagrees with Rome King's political views. And this person gets to speak from the pulpit. And Rome King's like, well, I want to check this church out. I would like to possibly stay, but they literally have a politician standing in the pulpit.
I'm gonna drive home.
and he's gonna probably get in the yellow in the yellow Corvette, and he's gonna probably push it on out of here. And then he says, "Well, hey, maybe that was an off week. Maybe that was an off week. So let me next Sunday. I'll tune in online."
Right. That says church and state are the same when religious beliefs are made into the law. That is not true.
No, I don't know about that
If
one.
it
Yeah,
was true, it would be a lot of conflict with what is going on these days.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna disagree with that one. And
I can give you examples of why I'm saying churches are corrupted. So your view on them, while it may be accurate, the point we're trying to make is that's not the reason that they were positioned there to begin with.
There we
They
go.
have a reason, and the current reason, which is why he made the video, was this is not what church platforms are used for.
That's all my point. So Rome King dials in the next Sunday, and I'm literally, Pastor Dear World Christian at Dear World Christian Presbyterian. I'm standing in the pulpit talking about how terrible the other political party is and how great the politician that was in my pulpit last week is. What's the likelihood that that situation is going to draw somebody in? And this is a regular thing. This regularly happens. So it wasn't just an off chance. It wasn't just a hiccup. But on a regular basis, I have politicians in my pulpit. We talk about politics and we talk about how great this person running for this office is and how bad this other person is from the pulpit in the church service. I think we can all agree that that would be very off-putting. That would probably turn you away. Say, I don't want to be there. I wouldn't mind hearing the preach word and worshiping God. The problem is I'm listening to you talk about how terrible this person is and how great this other person is politically. And a lot of them have problems and flaws and errors that I don't think really we should be elevating and giving green light to. What's the likelihood that you would stay around there for that? I
Right.
think we all agree that you probably wouldn't. And therein is the problem. Politics becomes a stumbling block. Whereas Rome King wanted to join the church, to be a part of a fellowship of believers who've been called out of the world to worship God. And he felt like, oh, I could be a part of this community right here and join with them, but they're over here talking about politics. And that off puts him. And he's like, no, that's not a good look. I don't want to be a part of that. And maybe he never joins.
Right.
Maybe he runs away and goes another direction. I don't know. But the church should not be the issue. We should never be a thing of, oh, they turned them away. They off-put people because they were platforming politicians. Now, can we off-put somebody? Can we turn people away because we preach gospel? Absolutely. Maybe a strong stance on a moral issue? Absolutely. But a politician, because we can go back and roll back the tape and watch. Kamala Harris was actually preaching at New Birth. That was their actual sermon. Let that settle in. Kamala Harris actually preached the sermon at New Birth about 4 Sundays ago. That was a sermon.
That's why some people was walking out. You heard the one lady like snapping,
Yeah.
like this ain't right.
So that's why I'm saying like that's not the purpose of the church.
Call me crazy. I
Now,
don't think she was called to do that. I could be wrong, but something's telling me she wasn't called to go to that church and do that.
I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that.
She said religion invented politics. I won't even say that. Religion probably has some instillment of some direction of order, but if you actually read the Bible and you went by those commandments and compared the punishment to what we have for like government, it's day and night. It's literally day and night. It's so many things
Absolutely.
that the government allows, from abortions to same sex to, I can go on for days, but the point is you can't they can't be mixed together. Do you have new Christians that will mix it together? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Weaponizing religion isn't the same. I don't think I'm not I don't I'm not I use the term weaponizing every now and then, but I don't know how that one is being used. Weaponizing the Bible is not the same. Weaponizing the Bible isn't the same. I would need you to show me, if you don't mind. Can you give me an example of weaponizing
I
the
get what
Bible?
she's trying to say. I think she's trying to say that directions can come from the government that can be influenced from the word. My point is there are false prophets. There are people that you should not follow. There is going to be a gray line in that type of spot. But that's the point of the video that's being made. There has to be people out there with some type of sense to say, that's not how that's supposed to be done. That's not what God would want done. But hey.
Okay. So no, I
Call me
agree.
crazy.
Thank you,
Call me
Ron.
crazy.
So Ray, the state, the secular institutions that run your city infrastructure, your electrical companies, sanitation, schools, protect your roads, protect the city through police, they should have no impact on the church whatsoever. The gathering of people in your community to worship God should not be influenced by that. And what I mean by that is the state can't not say, hey, Pastor Jason at Dear Woke Christian Presbyterian, you have to preach this, or you need to say this. That is off limits.
Right.
They have no
There
say
has
in
to
that.
be a standard. It has to be a standard.
And so they have no say in it. Now, so the church, the state cannot influence in. And I will say, in a way, the church community does not influence out. So the church should not be going around. I don't believe that it's appropriate for my church to go to a political rally to support a particular politician as, Dear Woke Christian Presbyterian. Now, if members of Dear Woke Christian Presbyterian want to go to a political rally, y'all go ahead and do that. But the church itself is not busing people over there to go at a rally. I think that's inappropriate. That's not appropriate for the church. However,
Right.
individuals, of course, can do individual things. And therefore, that's the difference. The state does not tell the church what to do. And I don't think the church, Dear Woke Christian Presbyterian, tells the governing body of Cobb County how to do their business. I don't think that's
Bingo.
appropriate.
Right.
So that's my understanding of the separation of church and state, the principle of the separation of church
But
and state.
Raynet did make some good points as far as like the Pope and stuff like that. The Pope is
Well-
a great example of why there is a separation.
Yeah, and I'm
Why-
going to get in trouble because that's Catholicism, and I'm going to
Right.
get in a
That's
lot of trouble for
Catholic.
that.
But I'm
Right,
just
so-
saying it's an example of why Christianity is like, okay, we don't want to mesh these two together like that.
That is
Because
correct.
there are different underlying motives and gain and opportunity on both sides of that. So the video is literally just saying it's not right.
And that's it.
Are we saying it doesn't happen? Clearly, that's the video is showing it happened. We're saying it's not right.
And there we go.
That's it. It's not Christianity. You can't make that. Definitely, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I'm sorry, who is that?
That was right next. She was like Christianity and Catholicism. It's not the same.
Oh yeah, they're not.
That's like me saying, look, you think the Buddha and Jesus are the same person. What do you mean? They're both God, right?
Christianity and Catholicism have different beliefs on very solid tenets that make
different
them
beliefs, different principles, different gods per se.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we don't hold the same things as Catholics. I'm not trying to pick a fight with Catholics tonight, but I mean,
Catholicism is a form of
gmail.com.
Christianity. You can say that, but for the fact is, there are clear differences. Can it be influenced in a type of way? Maybe, we don't know. But the point is, you can go ahead. You're the deacon.
Let me
my
jump
bad.
on this one because the word Catholic means universal, and not universalism, but universal. And that meant the church through all ages. When they are saying in the Apostles' Creed, when they say, I believe in the church, the one Catholic church in the Apostles' Creed, they're not talking about the Catholic church down the corner with the guy with the pointy hat. They're talking about the universal church that's connected through all ages. So every saint of God that lived before is a part of the same community or the universal Catholic Church. So Catholicism and Christianity really have nothing akin. My name is Jason dearwokec@gmail.com. So I'm not here
gonna
to
ask one question before we continue. Raynet, Just be honest. We love you regardless. Do you not like religion like that? I'm just curious.
Oh, I don't. I think she's asking a question. I mean, Catholics call themselves, but so do Mormons. Jehovah's Witnesses call themselves Christians. I know people who are not Christian at
The
all.
only reason I ask it is because you would have to have some type of, forethought knowledge to really make these assertions per se. Because like you said earlier, even making that assertion can be pretty offensive to Catholics. It can be pretty offensive to Christians. And the only people who would know that would be people that believe in that religion. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just want to get a clear read before I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think you went mute.
I'm muted. How did that
There
happen?
you go. There you go.
All right, Lady Coles. I'm not trying. Look, I'm not here to pick fights tonight, but I mean, it is what it is. I have some questions. I have a lot of questions, and we don't have to part ways. But I'm just saying, I have a lot of questions about that topic. I will stand on what I've said already, and take none of that back. I only want to say that I have questions that we would need to parse through together. So that's it.
I was just saying the video with the point that Jason was making was it's not right to have government and religion, especially especially being Christian, because it's literally in chapters of our Bible that tells us that's not what you do.
Facts.
So
And
that's
that's
all we're
really
saying.
it. Yeah. That was the whole point of that video.
The comment was like, you wouldn't say this about the other side, but Jason has.
I really
So
have.
that was the comment.
And I have. So I don't want it to ever be said that I give duck and cover to my side. Again, I think it's extremely wrong to, and I gave an example, like if Donald Trump came to my church this Sunday, he would not be allowed in the pulpit. He would be allowed to sit in the congregation.
I was about to say
He'd be allowed to sing with us. He'd be allowed to give an offering, be allowed, this is second Sunday, he'd be allowed to, all that kind of stuff like that. He would not get.
Hold on, Raynette, we're not saying you was fighting or anything. I just want clarity to make sure we all on the same page, so it doesn't sound like we saying something offensive or out the way to anybody else that would be
Oh, no.
Catholic per se. Because I don't want Catholic people to be like, what are you saying? What are you? I'm like, because I had to think about it when you said it. I was like, he probably right. Wait a minute.
So no, we're good. We're golden. I hope we're good. No problems. Oh yeah, but back to my point. But Trump wouldn't get a special prayer. He would not get an opportunity. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I know what a lot of my church congregation believes politically. Okay. Matter of fact, we don't even have a flag in our church. We don't have a flag. We don't, for that reason. He would not be able to get on the microphone and say, thank you very much to all of you wonderful people that voted. He wouldn't be able to do that. He would not. At best, he would be able to sit in the congregation and hear the word of God preached, and maybe get some good coffee and some donuts in the fellowship hall. But you know what? The exact same thing applies if Kamala Harris came to my church.
I ain't gonna lie, I probably would enjoy it more if she did it, but the point is, it stands.
It's the exact same thing. Or Joe. If Joe came, the exact same thing.
Joe ain't coming in. Joe is not coming in them doors. I'm sorry. This man eating baby feet. Nah, man, you gotta go.
We got a lot of kids at my church. We got a lot. We looked the other day, like, man, like literally more than half of our congregation, half of the adult population is met by kids. So if we have 300 adults, we got
They showed
150
this
kids. We
man
got a lot
on a
of kids.
30-minute compilation of him just sucking on baby feet.
Yikes.
I was like, who's
30
letting him
minutes?
do this? 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was ridiculous. I was like, did nobody see that? Or I just gonna let him put the foot. Give me my baby back. Give me my child back. What you doing?
Nope.
Oh man, Joe is that old man that falls asleep during the sermon.
Hey. So, but yeah, yeah. I mean, on the heels of this week, if Trump showed up at Presbyterian Smyrna Press this weekend, guess what? He'd be sitting right there in that audience, right
Amen.
next to the same people that he would have sat next to last week.
We're not gonna
They'll
have no
probably
speeches up there.
you ain't get no speech.
Nope.
At best, at very best, if he came to adult Sunday school, they would probably let him say hi as we're having
That's cool. That's
what's
cool.
called
I'm just talking about. Look, we're not finna say you Kamala endorses. No, we're not doing
no.
that.
If
We're not
Kamala
doing that.
came,
She had a full ad, like commercialized. Like that's crazy.
yeah, that's nasty work.
That
She
means
would be
she got
allowed to come to the.
funds.
She would be
That means
allowed to come for sure.
somebody got funds for that. Let that sink in.
Oh yeah.
That is ridiculous. And she
Yeah.
carried that. And look, I guarantee she still don't know why she lost. I guarantee.
I think I don't know. We had a conversation. You were there last night. We talked about that. I think she knows. I think she knows why she
I
lost.
don't know. I don't think so. Because if she would have known, like if she would have been expecting it at that, I think she would have went out there to talk to that college. I really do. I honestly don't think. I think she was believing the NBC polls and whatnot.
Well, this is something else, and everybody put your tinfoil hats on, okay?
Tinfoil alone. Okay, we
Tinfoil
up.
activated.
All right.
Okay. Remember early on in this political race, Trump would have these large rallies, and Kamala's rallies were not very. They were less than spectacular. Okay, even Joe's, they were less than spectacular. And there was a shift where they started saying, well, we're going to have big rallies too. And it's almost like just overnight, within a matter of weeks, Kamala's rallies were getting really packed out.
Jason,
go ahead.
I don't know what it is, but there is a huge community of Beyonce loving people. And if she is in the building, they are in the building. It don't matter if they coming from Alaska. I can't understand it, but it is what it is.
Well, I would go with that, but there were instances that were not Beyonce centric, and they didn't even lie.
They bust them in.
They didn't even. No, they didn't. So you might be on. I think you read my notes. You already read my notes. So when you see these big rallies, and you just go back and go through Twitter and different news outlets, she was having rallies that were humongous. They were very. I had to say they were very impressive. Like, wow, they got a lot of people to come to this rally, and it wasn't just because Beyonce was there or Taylor Swift or anything like that. But when the metal met the meat this Tuesday, it seems like those rallies didn't really have that effect.
Jason, somebody need a butt whooping. I'm sorry. I don't even get how they thought that was just gonna slide.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like something was wrong with that. Something just did not make sense with you could have 10, 15,000 people at a rally in Montana and still lose that county.
Jason, she was at rallies that was packed and they still didn't like her. This was the crazy part. So in my mind, I'm like, how did y'all not expect this to happen when you present somebody that didn't even go through a primary? So you're forcing a candidate on an entire party who probably had other ideas for other people that were running in the primary.
That probably would have wanted somebody different, right?
Bingo. So you just skip the line. You sexism, Jason. You skip the line. You put
right.
You put her above everybody else, and she's like, "Look, I'm black today. Put me in that chair."
Oh yeah, don't do that, man.
Put me in that chair.
Yeah, so
Look,
I just think that's
look, I ain't
interesting. Go
gonna
ahead.
put it that way. Look, the beehive. Look, I don't want no problems with y'all. Y'all got some nice looking ladies on y'all side, so I give y'all that. But I don't want no issues. I don't want no.
Okay, and okay, I see a lot of conversation still about the church thing. I don't know how they're beating this 501c3. If I literally bring up that new birth
You know
where
how.
Kamala is there preaching during the sermon time, how is that not a 501c3 violation? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
You know
How does
how.
that work?
The same way they was able to put charges on people that was going against her.
I see what you did there. So yeah, I mean, I believe in a separation of church and state. I'm
Did you
fine
see
with
how
that.
much money she raised? Of course, she has some friends in some nice prominent places that can get stuff done. Absolutely. That's what made me kind of like really really look at her as a candidate at that point. I was like,
Right.
okay, she's no pushover in terms of what she's capable of doing. And that was probably what most people ended up looking at. It was just like, look, we don't know what she going for. Candace
Yeah.
just told us her whole family history. She lied about that on the book. Who is this woman? Who is this woman in the picture with her?
Right, right.
That's some dangerous stuff, Jason. I ain't never
That's
lied about
nasty work.
somebody being my grandmama. That's Grammy. I
Yeah.
can't lie on that.
Yeah, don't lie on Grammy. That's not good.
When she can do that, I'm afraid of what she capable of lying about. I said, look,
I see what
that's
you're
a
doing.
wrap. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah, so I don't actually know um about how are they getting up past that 501c3 or C4. I've never
They
heard
got
of a
some help.
501c.
They got some help in government. I'm telling
Yeah, I
you.
think that's really it. I mean, New Birth is a, dare I say, a economic powerhouse out there on the east side of Atlanta. Is that fair, Rome?
That's fair. Yeah.
All ever since the Eddie Long days, it has been a I don't want to say a religious juggernaut out there. I mean,
Yeah, they was on their stuff for a good minute.
yeah, it was on that. And so that being the case, I mean, they're that so that building over there and that facility over there, I'm sure they get some kind of favorable treatment. I'm absolutely positive
Thank you. I was
that
about to say it ain't no guess.
yeah, I'm absolutely positive that they got some kind of love for having Kamala out there um before on her on it was literally like a month ago to have her out there. I'm
I
certain that
can't
they
believe they
did.
put that woman up there knowing she just had Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B.
I don't care.
People,
I don't care.
look, they bleeped out a whole song. I ain't never heard that many bleeps in a song in my life. I ain't never heard that many bleeps. I was just sitting there. I was like, is they gonna sing it? Oh, they are. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, they twerk. Okay. Oh,
Oh,
this is.
no, there you go. It's a real
And then
thing.
that look, a week later, here she go in the church. Look,
501c4 is a social welfare organization. Have no idea specifics. Really? I'd never heard of that title before. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm not good with taxes. I ain't gonna lie to you. Those type of attorneys are the best.
Woo.
I'm
They
not no
they they they
tax
deserve
law
all they
different.
get paid.
Tax law. I like to read, but I ain't reading like that. That is different. The tax attorneys and what do they call that? Bankruptcy. Those are probably
Bankruptcy.
undefeated. Yeah.
So, and I've heard this before. There's a couple of things
If you
because I
vote
don't know.
against a woman's uterus, I didn't vote against her uterus. I just voted
Well,
against her because nobody picked her to run up. She just jumped the line. She just jumped in there. Primaries are made for a reason. It's democracy. It lets you choose who you want to represent. And nobody technically chose her. Biden chose her by himself and put her in the race. So it had nothing to do with the uterus. She just didn't earn the people's vote to even get there. It's like you pulling somebody off the street. It's like, hey man, you you want to do this?
Right. Let's do it.
Sure. All right, look, get in there.
Get in there, kiddo. So, okay, and I'm not 100% certain. I don't know. I don't know what the right or wrong situation is. I've heard of candidates finishing their race, finishing the election, and having a huge wad of cash left over.
Oh, you know she
I've
got a
also
kid.
heard, like here in Atlanta, when Stacey Abrams ran for governor, I think she ran into a deficit. So I don't know if they go into a deficit, does the political party cover for it? Or if they have a whole bunch of cash, does that go into the political party coffers? I don't know. So I don't know if it's bad. I know that sounds crazy, but please understand, I don't
I'm
know.
listening.
I don't know. Is that a bad thing that they ran out of money and they were in the negative? Or would it be a good thing that they finished and had a whole bunch of cash
I hope they
left
finish
over?
with a whole bunch of cash. She gonna need it.
But she can't just spend it. She can't take it herself. It
Oh,
was given to her campaign.
she clever. She's an attorney. Don't forget that.
Okay. So I don't know I don't know what happens with the monies
If she went into the
once the race is
negative,
over.
that's another good reason she didn't win. Because if she can fumble billions of dollars, she raised a lot. She
She did
raised a
raise a lot of
lot of
money.
money. And I think that came from some big corporations that like that illegal help. But that's
And
neither
now,
here nor there. That's an
right.
assertion. So allegedly, but usually when you put 30 million workers in a country, they gonna work somewhere. Um, and they all of a sudden she became one of the people that raised the most money in the stop. just stop.
All right. Don't be negative. You don't want to be negative. I got you. Yeah. I just
The
don't
money
know.
is going to P. Diddy list fund.
Y'all are wild.
You know P. Diddy was on
Hey.
Biden that last time he got elected, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
And they said vote or die.
See, Leslie, Fonnie actually, I think, said the quiet part out loud that they do
Leslie out of
actually pocket
pocket.
that money.
Leslie out of pocket.
But I hope I don't even know, man.
Kamala got 12 mattresses if she put it in my
Right.
mattresses. They
Yeah,
said she paid Lizzo 2.5 for what?
but just think about that though. You had that level of star power. You had Trump didn't have anybody like that.
Didn't need them.
Nobody of that.
People was broke, Jason. People they can't afford to go to the concert. They didn't care. It was like, look, what is we doing? They didn't
Yeah,
even get
what
to
are we
hear
doing?
Beyonce sing. They were like, we came for a free concert.
Came for a free concert.
You
That is
bamboozled. You
wild.
hoodwinked us. He been
You
led astray.
bamboozled me. No, you're right. You're right.
And see if they asked her, are you gonna do anything different? You know, these groceries important. Well, I come from a middle class family.
We're gonna do away with price gouging. Ma'am.
You gotta look. What did you go to college for? So you know this better than anybody. What did you get your degree at? You know this
Early
better than
childhood
me.
education.
And what was the other one? In
Oh,
business.
business. My MBA is in business administration and concentration in marketing.
So you're well aware of how ludicrous that sounds for her to just say that out the blue, like it's just it'll work.
Like, why are you like this? Like, ma'am.
My whole firm was in tears. It was like, what is going on? I was like, look, it's a show. It's a
just
show
a show.
out there,
It's just a
y'all.
show.
Sunny on the View, like I was waiting for this. That is probably the only reason like I wanted him to win so much. I really don't like Sunny on the View. I just don't. The way she would talk about black men and then Hispanic men, and then she just always based it on men. I'm just like, look.
Well, you heard her say that the reason they didn't vote for him was because of misogyny, and I'm like, she literally
Most
just
of
threw
the men is
misogyny in there. Like,
married. Most of the men got daughters. Most of them, like, come on. You think we gonna vote and then be in a dog house? Let's be real. The wives wanted it too. The women wanted it too. Come on.
right? When you make it sound like, again, yeah, I'm with you, man. I am with you, 100%, my brother.
That's how I knew. I was like, look, she ain't got no man like that, because she would know. She would know. Look, happy wife, a happy home. We just not gonna vote this year, babe. We just not gonna vote this year. I agree that. I think Renette learning. That's all, y'all. She cool. I like her input. I like to have somebody kind of realize some certain stuff in here, so we get time to get perspective.
There we go. I agree.
More women voted than men. And look, Captain Obvious, you get look, stop speaking facts. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I
It's against
mean,
the law. What are you doing?
I think the whole blame. First of all, I think the blaming thing is a part of an overarching problem within this that administration or that candidacy, that they wanted to drive a wedge between people groups. How are you sitting there blaming a small micro fraction
Thank you.
of a group for your failure when there are tons of other people that didn't support you? Why? It makes no
Look,
sense.
I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm like, okay, it wasn't because you just had this 21-year-old twerking her butt on stage in front of all these older people.
Mm-mm.
Did you think that was gonna help your cause? Like, people out there are broke, Kamala. They don't want to see twerk. They can't. They can't even go to the strip
Right.
club, Kamala. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's tough out there. And she was just like, you know what? We're gonna do another concert, another one. We can't get Beyonce. That's fine. We gonna get the city girls. We're gonna get
Right. We're
them.
gonna have Glorilla. We got Glorilla coming. Like,
I didn't even know the girl name until they told me. I was like, y'all being funny, right? They was like,
no,
no,
that's
that's
her
her
name,
name.
Glorilla.
Oh man.
Which is weird.
Oh
But like,
man.
why? Yeah, 'cause I have a lot of questions about that. I have a lot of questions. But
I lost respect for Kelly Rowland too. She came out there looking crazy. This is ridiculous.
like, listen to all of the stars that they had, man.
It's still look.
And still collected that L.
Seeing them
That-
stars have reminded people like it's really tough out here because these stars looking real good, and we having trouble with these grocery lists right now. What? Wait a
What's
minute.
going on here? But I think also keep in mind it showed that Hollywood is kaput.
Yeah,
The
they lost
celebrity
their
influence
voice.
is done.
Lost the
Go ahead.
voice. I was about to say they lost their voice, like you
Yeah,
were
they lost their
saying
voice for sure.
on that show the other day. You pretty much broke it down perfectly. It was just like it's in a time now where the voices of the many are now heard on platforms versus the super idols.
Yes.
Like J-Lo made it worse too. She didn't even know Kamala name.
That was so weird. Like, why don't you know her name? Oh, okay.
Oh man, she's not from
That
the
was
block.
weird.
She's not
She's
from the
not
block.
she's not from the block. She is not.
Oh,
All right.
there was a lot of stars. Jesus, oh,
There's a
my.
lot. I mean, we're talking about the ones that came to rallies, but like she had the
Then
whole
some on
Marvel
social
Avengers,
media and stuff.
right?
Yeah,
The whole Avengers, um, talk shows, Saturday Night Live. Was she not on SNL twice? She might have been on there twice. I
probably.
mean,
I
that's
wouldn't doubt it.
crazy.
I wouldn't doubt it.
How many times was Trump on there? That's my point. So
Trump said, "Let me go to Rogan. Let
yeah,
me
let
go
me
to
go to
Rogan.
Rogan. Let me go to
Got
Rogan.
400 million views." He said, "I'm up.
I'm up.
We're done."
We're done. Yeah, I just think it's interesting that we don't. Uh, I think we're in I'm gonna call it the decentralization of news and
Oh,
decentralization
it's
of
changing.
influence.
Oh,
Oh
it's
yeah,
definitely changing.
this will never be the same.
That polarized news stations for me, like when I actually saw it, because I would watch both. So I would
Yeah, yeah.
watch the news and then I watch, YouTube and stuff like that. And then I would see like polar information, like polar opposites. And I'll just be like, wait a minute. So they said this, but they cut that out. They didn't
Hmm.
say this on that. So I'm like, let me just sit on YouTube longer. And I guarantee you that's what a lot of people did.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just
I
like,
mean, we're. I mean, the next election is gonna be totally different.
yep, absolutely.
It'll be totally different next one.
I wonder who's gonna run. I don't
Well, we'll have a there will be there won't be an incumbent. I'm sorry. So
Yeah, it's
if
not.
JD Vance runs, I mean, he'd be the vice president, but there won't. Somebody new is going to be in that.
I hope he do a primary.
Well,
I
there
hope
you
he do
go.
a primary. If
Yeah.
he do a primary, I don't have no issue with it. I just don't like how they did that with Kamala at all. That was just at first I thought it was me, and then I looked at the votes. And I was like, okay, it wasn't me. So yeah, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to force a candidate on your constituency and just be like, look, this is who we got. They're gonna run. We don't need no primary. Good luck.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they did. Plus the arts. Plus the arts. Respectfully, as my friend likes to say.
That's my favorite vocab word, man. That saves
Respectfully.
everything.
You do say it a lot.
I said it on the comment. I was like,
You
look,
do.
respect. You missed the point, buddy.
You missed the point, fam. Let me see what else. All right, I think. All right, I think there's a little bit of some kind of number star. Confused by the number of stars Madam K hired for the campaign. She had a ton. I mean, there's a lot. I'm not even being funny. From actors and actresses, athletes, and musicians. There are a ton of people.
Yeah, it is. I just thought about it. I was start
Yeah.
naming folks, and I didn't realize I was naming that many people. I was like, J-Lo, how did she get in here? I was like, what?
Because then you got Steph Curry and you got LeBron James and Scarlett Johansson and
It was insane.
Ruffalo and I mean you could just literally just keep going back and forth ping ponging for 5-6 minutes on just actors, actresses, and musicians that supported her, and that's
Look,
crazy.
wasn't enough. People were broke. I told you, money changed. Money changed. People start getting real. When money get low, people start getting real logical.
Real logical, yeah. So
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
some. I ain't gonna say all. I told you how they crashed out on me at the Quick Trip. That little young lady. She crashed out on me. I was just getting my snacks.
Why are you inside a Quick Trip, man?
I was getting my snacks and my gas, man. It was broad daylight. I was in a good area. Like I was safe.
You weren't in Cobb, right?
Nah.
Okay.
I was in Henry County. They not playing with Clayton out there. They got to cross Clayton, then they got to get to Henry. They leave me alone out there.
I got you. Usher. Yeah, I mean they
Did they pay
bet-
J-Lo a lot? Look, they probably
probably
they
so.
paid. They gave Lizzo 2.5. Somebody said. So.
That's crazy. That's nasty work.
She just eat. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy out
Yeah,
here, man.
these streets, man. These streets are wild.
It's crazy. They just, look, that money could have went elsewhere to the community, but you know how that go.
Oh wait, don't get me started, please don't, Leslie. I'm already working on a montage of all these people that crashed out. I don't need to add a political ad to it.
Infinity can't drive that. Bruce out of pocket. I'm talking about him in Henry County. He's like, Infinities can't drive that far. You're right. They stop at Clayton. they cross Clayton borderline and the car cut out. The Infinity battery just died.
Hey, but that new Infinity truck. It does look nice.
Stop. You sounded like a criminal.
What? It didn't have tinted windows. It didn't have tinted windows.
Like a felon. I don't like it, Jason.
It didn't have tinted windows.
You sounded like a YSL member.
I mean, this is a gang here.
Allegedly. I'm an unindicted co-conspirator. I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm gonna stay unindicted, you know.
Oh. Captain Obvious said, look what Captain Obvious said.
White Audis can make the drop.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna just jump out of the Infinity and jump in the Audi.
Who giving them this money, man? The Audis is not cheap. It's not cheap. This is crazy. I can see the Infinity. You can buy that anywhere, but
you dumb. He said he can buy it anyway.
This is insane. They're making money out here. I don't look. They worrying about the wrong people. They got to get these Infinity owners. They got to start doing background checks. Nissan
Well,
Infinity has a truck.
we talked a little bit about the case, Texas. Now we're just taking random ideas and random questions.
I think it's died down pretty well. I don't know about the defendants on whole, the other people that are still
Yeah,
waiting. I would be more upset if I was their family more than anybody because that is insane. Because they're probably going to be sitting there just as long.
probably longer.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So they got that to worry about. The two that's remaining right now that we're watching. I think they have a pretty good chance to evade all of those serious charges, maybe get a few minor. But the ones that require reasonable doubt, they're looking pretty solid on, especially since two of the
Reasonable.
jurors were like, "Look, we had enough of the state. Can we go?"
Can we take this to the house? So I agree with you. I'm wondering. I'm just lost and wondering what will it take for Judge Whitaker to say like enough? Like
No,
you
she's
had
locked in. This is pretty much an embarrassment contest at this point. Like she's locked in.
so you
She's
just think
like
she just
she doesn't get embarrassed. She there to be nosy at this point. To be honest, she's just like I
you're
just
so
want to see where
dumb.
it
You
goes.
said she had to give be nosy.
I just want to hear more about these Glock switches in these perk 30s. Like I'm here for
I'm
the
trying to figure out what
tea,
these solo cups are about. Right? Okay, I
right?
got you.
Where they get all these Chick-fil-A cups from? Like, I bet
Right. And I got this invitation to a cookout. What is that about?
I finally get to read these bars with no bleeps. I love it here.
I'm traumatized. Bless her heart. I love it. Okay, that's fair. Then if you think you feel it, okay, I'm
She
gonna ride
issued
with
an
y'all.
apology. She shouldn't have issued no.
Yeah, I don't think now that I don't think she should have done.
Nah, it wasn't necessary.
Uh-uh.
She didn't write it. She didn't
I don't
text it.
agree with generalized.
When they stopped saying it on the text, they would have never worried about it. I
Right.
don't think I've ever sent the text where I'd be like, yeah, bleep, was good. They will rest in 2 weeks because this next cop is in study hall as we.
Really? I still don't think they're gonna be done before Christmas.
I caught Mo live early. I'm the replay gang. I'm her little replay watcher. She be having some funny moments.
Oh, she do.
She
Was
be
it
having a good time.
MDK? Yeah. MKD or yeah, MDK.
Give Mo a follow, please, please.
Mo, drop your link in the chat. Please, so we can make sure we follow you in your morning shout outs.
Mandy said Valentine's Day deadline.
Yeah. And that's for the state to get finished. I'm talking about I don't think the defense is gonna get this case until 2025.
I
I
a
think
lot of, like I'll put it this way. Monica touched on this a while back where she'll be like a lot of attorneys from Atlanta really are uncertain on certain. I'm not certain about nothing on this trial because it's so irregular, like even for our standard. So a lot of times I would be like, okay, they should be done by this point for sure. And every time I think that, some stuff hit the fan every time, and it just prolongs it or it speeds it up one point. Like it's crazy.
because I just knew that extracting 4
I agree,
defendants.
Renette. I think late January for sure.
Yeah, I'm going MLK Day. I'm saying MLK Day.
The
But see,
anniversary for Fanny's lie.
yeah, but see, okay. And my only question with this, Raynette, is Doug saying that's when the state will finish? Because I know Doug said earlier that the case will be finished in spring. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be the end of the summer. That's crazy, but
I don't think they got that many officers on pay.
like, why do y'all keep bringing these officers in here?
Well, they don't brought up 12 medical examiners for one scene.
Man, it is crazy. So yeah, I
They
think
took
it's
all these medical examiners to tell us, look, gunpowders really don't tell us that much, guys. Why you here? And they told us. Why do they always do a recross too? That be irking me. I'll be
oh
at
yeah.
work looking at this, and I'll be like, just sit down, Hilton. Sit down, act. Come on.
I just don't think they want it to be. I don't think they want the last voice to be heard to be the defenses. And please remember when they were doing recrosses before, Judge Whitaker kind of put the kibosh on that. They were kind of just going over everything. Remember, Adrian Love would just kind of talk about
They do
everything.
that naturally, and that's not what you do on recross because you're only supposed to address what was spoken on exam
Right.
on direct, and the recross do hurt. You're right, Monica. They hurt a lot, and I don't think they have any self awareness to realize that the recross is really not doing them any favors. So they just keep doing it until the judge finally pops up with the little switch and say, "Hey, what I tell you about that?"
Oh, hey, wait. Don't be using switch now. Let's not use that. What do you mean switch? Like, what do you mean
I'm talking
switch?
about
Like,
the old Georgian switch where they
okay,
make
there
you
we
break
go.
out a
That's fine.
branch.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. When did you accuse Judge
Look,
Whitaker of?
ATF, I ain't got no switches on none of my stuff. Okay,
We have none here at Whitaker
Th-
Park. None at all.
nah, this is not alleged. This is fact. There is none on any of mine. I like to have precision aim. I'm
What
not a
is that
trend.
picture?
Looks like a bunny.
Yes, Bunny Mom. Thank you for the $5 super. What were your thoughts?
I'm mad I didn't read the name. I feel slow.
You're so funny, dude. Wow. On the video showing when Drink was unalived.
I don't think they're supposed to show that. I think they're talking about the medical examiner thing.
Yeah.
They usually don't show that in trials like that. So I think that was another pretty prejudicial moment to show that, but they showed it.
Yeah. I was gonna
It's
say
Fulton.
I think it was pretty it was prejudicial. It slid into inappropriate,
Yeah,
but they should quit. I personally think the state should stop right now
they don't have awareness.
and let the defense go ahead and take the ball and try to get them on some redirects
That's what a
and so
smart
forth.
team would do. That's what a
This-
smart. I would have
they-
did that all the way back in probably May.
Yeah, they should just let's just go ahead and let's
When
rest
Woody
our
did his
case.
thing, I would have said, bet. Let's put them up there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, reading what
Monica
Mo
said,
Justice
I'm
said.
not sure they would have to answer that.
Wait, what was
Bunny
that?
mom, bunny mom.
But so what I'm just pointing out to answer your question, thank you again for the $5 super. I really just believe that the state is demonstrating, showing, and really making the case that they're not ready for prime time. And the things that the juror sent, those are true. The things that the concerns that the juror had, those are right. And Judge Whitaker, I think, should look at those like that. Wow, what's
Judge
up?
Whitaker, look, I told you she want to be nosy. She does not care what uncomfortability these jurors have or the job. You know, we're at a work at will state. Like we just get fired for anything, and it can be for the trial, but they can just say it's for anything. So when you got stuff like that, and the judge is not really taking those type of emails serious, where she's like, "Look, we should be done. What happened if you're not? What are you gonna do for them? Are you gonna house them? Or like what are you gonna do, Paige?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're talking about the was it the third car, the other
Yeah,
white car, the second white car,
right now,
whatever you want to
stop
use.
at the light. Yeah, Renee, I don't wish that on anybody. I would never wish, you pull up at a light and then you have like that moment of life and death. That's no, nope, 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 nope. Especially not by an Infinity. Yeah, or a Bonneville,
Bonneville,
Oh,
I knew you were gonna
nah.
call it the Bonnevilles. Leave my
Oh, Ain't no
Leave my
way.
auntie car alone. Leave my
Look,
auntie car alone.
he gonna have to throw a grenade in my car for that.
You
Ain't
so
no
dumb.
way.
You got to chase me because I see a Bonneville coming. I'm in
I'm
the way.
about to say, look, you gonna have to, he ain't got enough, but he gonna have to try. He's gonna have to try.
Yo, wow.
She called the ladies' boss and demanded the text message. Lord, Monica,
Yeah,
no,
that
she
was.
didn't.
She did. She did. Judge Whitaker said that. She said she reached out to the
Why?
woman's employer to ask because apparently the employer said, "Hey, I heard Jeffrey pled out,
Oh,
so the
that's what they
case is
were talking
over."
about.
Yeah, he said, "So I guess the case is over when you come to work." And she's like, "No, I'm still at work. I mean, I'm
I
still
thought she
on
was talking
trial."
to a friend. Like I was just peeping in and out while I was on the trial stuff, with my
That was,
stuff. And man, so
and
that's
then
a
as
sign. That's a big sign. Like these jurors are really trying to hang in there, literally.
yeah, I'm like telling my boss that I'm still able to do this. I'm sorry, I would have,
Sorry,
but
boss, they got me hostage.
they
I'm
got me
still
they got me
here.
stitched up over here, boss. We got to make this happen. But I would have. I'm sorry. That's on them. Though. I'm gonna say that. That's on them. They
Yeah.
should have said,
Maybe they
"No,
were
I
trying to
can't."
be patriots. Man. Maybe they was just trying to be good citizens, and they thought it was like, okay, we're gonna give them a second chance after this little summer pause. What could go wrong? It should be done quick. And then they got to where we're at right now, where we're understanding there is no limit to this office.
Right.
There's no limit. She's probably looking for a new. Oh, she's absolutely looking for a new job. They won't do it while she's in jury, but they'll most likely fire her for literally anything they want after that. Guaranteed.
Wait. Who?
Anybody on that jury, the one who was texting the boss, where the judge was like, "I'm gonna text the boss."
Oh, I
I
got you.
guarantee they will. It's just easier that way. That's a lot of money it's costing whoever employs them.
And no work. Like
Bingo.
you're not getting the work either.
Yo,
I think it's
all for
interesting. People like,
$25 a day.
yeah. I think it's interesting that you have to like explain that. Like, look, they're not getting paid, and they're not getting anything remotely like what they've been used to. That's craziness, man.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to call it bitter lily retaliation. Like that's usually what they'll do, and I've seen it happen countless times. And that's what I was saying when we had our original first little talks. I was just like, some states have laws against it. Other states have insurance for it.
Okay, yeah.
In Georgia, they're not liable to have any of that. So they can just be like, look, you know what? You looked at me wrong yesterday. Don't come back to work. Don't come back to
You
work.
said don't come back to work.
Don't
Yo,
come back.
wow.
They can be like that. I kid you not. Kid you not. There's no discrimination at that point. It's just like, look, you just looked at me crazy. I don't want you to work in my building no more. Just go. And it was about the jury. It was about the jury duty.
Right. It's about that jury duty. No, I agree. Wild. All right, good people. Was the gun drinks car
They're talking about the red light traumatic stories right now.
was the gun and drinks car tested for the 3 murders that happened
I
on the
haven't heard
freeway?
any of them match anybody's to any of the firearms they found.
No. Yeah, nor I. And sadly, there's quite a few options that they could have done, and I don't think there's any. I don't think so.
But that's what they got on the stand, and they were just like, yeah, gunpowder won't prove this and so forth. And I'm just like, why are y'all here then?
What are you doing?
Like, I get that the defense would have called somebody their own expert for that, but at the same time, it's just like, did y'all really sit in the office and think about this when y'all was trying to be real prideful and snatch the deals off the table? This is embarrassing.
Let's just tell the
Hilt's a
truth.
professor. He's a
Y'all are
teacher,
wild.
man. He's a teacher.
I think that's the one thing that really assaulted Rome King's grits is the fact that she's a professor. She's a teacher, a professor.
That should upset anybody. The specific class she teaches is trial prep.
which is crazy. Nasty work.
Insanity. The switch, the body on the guns, the switch, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm trying. It's 10 o'clock. I'm trying. Trying, Mo. Help me. I can't
Yeah, I don't know.
unjumble it. I
I
can't
don't know.
unjumble it. She trying to keep me on my toes. I don't like that.
She discriminated against you.
She's sexism. Look. Oh man.
All right.
Casper, I drive a weird Swedish manual transmission car that nobody yeah, my car's a manual too. That's why I don't worry about it. I leave my door open at the gas station. Kids look at it and they just keep walking.
Because you don't think they can drive it?
I don't think I know.
That's a good point.
I know.
Good point.
Oh, it's a different time, man. We're old. You
That's
know?
fair. Who makes a new manual transmission vehicle?
All three of the major American brands.
They do? Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know. I really truly was asking.
They're limited, but they actually charge more for it, to be honest. But
I won't doubt it.
I don't
doubt it.
mind. I don't mind.
He's I don't mind. I don't mind. Give me that.
It's good. It's good protection for that. And then it's a little bit more fun. It gets you to the road because when I had automatic cars, I usually would be on the phone a lot. So when it's a
Not
manual, no. I'm in there jamming and just jamming, shifting gears.
Right.
Did you see how the gun show guy was treated? He did not like love Monica. That
Oh,
man
man.
was he was like, why you got me in here? You know I be getting these weapons under the table. Like what you doing?
What you trying to do?
You know how
Somebody
these
said he
gun
was an
shows
attorney,
work.
though. Somebody said he was an
Could be.
attorney.
He could be. It's a lot of attorneys that collect firearms and sell. Yep. I don't think I know a single attorney that doesn't have a firearm, to be honest.
Okay.
Yep, that's a for those in the chat, just a little reminder. Look, don't get on Harvey bad side.
You said don't get on Harvey bad side. Is
I
Harvey
still
against him?
think about that time we used the court where you showed us on the video. Like, get out of here! What are you doing? Put the camera down.
Yeah, that was wild. Harvey's a mess.
But
I do like him.
the gun show guy, he was dry with love. He's just like, no. Can you elaborate? Sure. And he just stopped. He was there chilling. Okay, tell us. Okay, I don't buy those type of guns. I bought this from one of your cops. What do you know about these switches? I don't know nothing about them. I just read about them.
I just watched video on the YouTube.
He said everything every gun owner wanted to say. Like, look, we don't know nothing about this lady. We just look, we seen it on a movie.
he sure did say it.
Heard it on a rap track. It's crazy. I didn't know it was real.
Yeah, I just heard people say switches, and I thought they were talking about like light switches or something.
When I got the Glock, it was switched off, man.
I have no idea how that happened. That was funny. All right,
And
let's
she
get
was
out of
getting
here.
mad. She had that
She was-
awkward
she was.
laugh. I was like, love, stop the fake laughs. We know you hot. But you're right, let's get out of here, man. 10 o'clock Friday, let's get out of here. Get out of
All
here.
right, good people. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. Rome King, thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I apologize for the off-taskness of this, but hey, we had a good time.
Shout out to the chat.
The best live chat on the planet.
I appreciate everybody for showing up, even those who came in a little late. We always love when y'all pull up. Raynette, we still love you. You still the little sis in the group. We still love you.
Absolutely. Never was it in jeopardy.
Amen.
Never were you in jeopardy. But everybody, I want to thank y'all so much. Let's I think tomorrow I gotta take Taylor to go. She's taking the SAT, I think, or something like that.
Bless your heart, you gotta get up early.
Yeah, I gotta get up in the morning.
Good luck.
Appreciate y'all. Let's do this again real quick. Everybody have a great rest of the evening. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all, Lord willing, I'll see you all Sunday. So take care. Grace and peace, everybody.
Hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.